Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. They've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it.
Good morning. Welcome to Undisputed. Happy Friday. We're live from LA. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Good morning.
Good morning, Jenny.
I love Diet Mountain Dew. The breakfast of champions, the nectar of the gods. And I'm about to win 3 more cases on Sunday.
Oh, so we got to bet.
One last night. Well, I think 5. You want to go 5?
Oh,
yeah,
you feeling real good?
I'm feeling real good about my team and myself.
Got that
At first you will let me wait. Let's see. Let me see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Montrez is okay. He looked good
Do you have
last
a
night.
response or we'll
No, I
get
got
to
no
it?
response.
Okay.
I'll look at this. Give you the happy hour. It's a happy hour Friday for me.
Happy Hour Friday. We have so much to get to today. How badly does Robert Kraft want Mr. Tom Brady to stay? Will the Cowboys be able to keep Amari Cooper? And should being MVP motivate LeBron? But first, let's start with last night's Western Conference Showdown. The Rockets have had success going with their small ball lineup, but not last night against the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard and company throttled Houston on the road for their 6th straight win. Kawhi led the Clips with 25 points and finished with a plus-minus of plus 33. Meanwhile, the Rockets went just 7 of 42 from 3. The Clippers are now 5 games back of the first-place Lakers, who they face off with on Sunday in a potential conference finals preview. So, Shannon, did last night prove to you that the Clippers are better than the Lakers?
No, absolutely not. No, you know
What
good.
game were you watching?
The same
You
game.
got to get a new TV, man.
I just want to know one thing. When the Rockets beat them twice earlier this year, did it prove anything?
Were they full strength?
Whoa,
Were they full strength?
Hold on, time out. It's my turn. I'm talking right now.
asked a question and I answered it.
No, it's a rhetorical question.
It's rhetorical. I never know rhetorical or actual.
Okay, well, how about this, Skip? No, this game was more about the flaws of the Houston Rockets. Let me ask you a question. How many NBA teams will win a game in which they shoot 7 for 42 from the three-point line, and their 2 best players score 45 points, but it takes them 44 shots to do it? How many teams are going to win a game in the NBA? None.
Wait, are you asking me?
Yeah.
No. Is it?
Yeah, go ahead. You can answer that one.
Really?
Yeah.
They won't if they're playing the Clippers.
Stop it.
Yes.
They had some great looks. The ball was not going in. The ball wasn't falling last night. Skip, the game kind of reminded me of Game 7 against the Warriors. Remember when they started 0-27 from the 3? And it was just like brick after brick after brick. But this is all they have. When you only play 6'5", 6'7" guys, you don't have any other option. See, the thing with Golden State, Skip, you remember when Golden State lost that 3-1 lead? They went cold from the three-point line. They didn't have anybody that could play with their back to the basket. Now, all of a sudden, they get a 7-foot monster. You go cold from the outside. Hey, KD, drop it down, bruh. Go to work. The Rockets don't have that. Skip, stop it. The Clippers are a good team. I'm not trying to here to take that away from them. But the one thing the Clippers did not do, they didn't fall into the trap. They played who they are. Zubas looked like Akeem Olajuwon last night. When you're 7 foot tall and you got a guy 6'6" behind you, they don't run no plays for Zubas. They were dumping the ball down to Zub. And Zub giving work. Trez come in. They couldn't keep him off the glass. You go into the half and you're -9, bad things going to happen to you. Look, the Rockets played their style, and maybe that's conducive for them. But when they play teams that have skilled bigs, the Nuggets have a skilled big. Obviously, the Lakers have skilled bigs. You're in trouble. And the Clippers, you saw last night, this is why I don't believe they can represent the Western Conference. This was not about the Clippers. The Clippers are a good team. But when you playing 6'6" guys, that's a great high school team. That's what that is. That's what you see in high school when all the guys are 6'5", 6'6". Not in the NBA. There's a reason why 7-footers are a commodity. You want height. The Rockets gave all that up. Look, Skip, it also goes to show you. Now, where have we seen this before? Have you seen James Harden not show up in a big game before, Jenny? Have you seen Russ not show up in a big game, Skip Bayless? Now, have you seen this? Yes or no, Skip? You can answer that if you like.
I'm waiting until it's my turn. Somebody's trying to play ball control and eat up the clock so that somebody doesn't get run over.
All I'm saying is that in big playoff games, we've seen the 2 best players from the Rockets come up small, especially James Harden.
Okay.
So with that being said, I'm still taking the purple and gold, and we got something for you on Sunday.
Do you?
We got something for you. I want you to go to church. Because you're going to be doing a lot. When you're in church, I want you to pray. I want you to ask him forgiveness for some of the things that you're going to say when you're watching this game.
I don't pray for sports.
No. You praying that he forgive you for the things that you're going to say. No, not the game. No.
I go every Sunday, so you don't have to tell me or ask me to go to church. But now it's my turn,
Go ahead.
correct? Mr. Sharpe.
Yep.
Last night should have told you, as you sat up in your palatial estate up in Bel Air, up on your throne of a couch, watching your gigantic TV that covers an entire wall of your mansion, it should have shown you and told you, you are in big trouble. Your man, LeBron James, is in big trouble.
We'll see.
The Clippers roster has been whole 10 times for 10 games this year. The Clippers are 10-0 in those games. Fox Bet is setting the line on Sunday's Clippers-Lakers clash number 3 at Clippers by 4.5. They're at Staples. It is a quote-unquote Clippers home game.
Yeah.
But they are favored in the early line by our Fox Bet by 4.5. What does that tell you about a Lakers team that has a much better record, right?
Tells me I'm going to get in on the Lakers and that 4.5 and make me some money. That's what it tells me.
Well, it tells me that you are in trouble because LeBron now has to deal with Giannis first in the prelim in a big MVP showdown tonight on national TV. And he's going to have to focus his energy on that game. And if I know LeBron the way I think I do, high basketball IQ, I think he will give every ounce of his being to tonight's game to try to triple-double Giannis, to outplay Giannis, and to ensure his lead in the MVP race, because I think he's starting to see and feel that MVP is all he is going to win this year because he's not getting out of the West to another NBA Finals.
Okay.
This team is just too good. What it's boiling down to is the Clippers are a 10-man team and the Lakers are a 2-man team. And I'll take 10 over 2 any day, Sunday, or any night whenever they play in the playoffs. And last night, to me, was not an indictment of the small ball Houston Rockets.
Really?
It was just a statement made by the Clippers. Yet another statement, because they have won 6 straight games. And if you have watched closely what's happening in those 6 straight games, they are suffocating and annihilating every opponent in 3 quarters. They are blowing people off the floor in 3 quarters on offense and defense. They made a statement again last night that just said, we're just way better than the Houston Rockets. They can go tall or small. It just doesn't matter to us because we're just too deep. We're too good. We're too physical. We're too fiercely committed on the defensive end of the floor. And what I saw was James Harden was just overmatched last night. Again, I don't know how much you focused on what was happening, but Doc was sending a different defender at James nearly every time down the floor. It would be Kawhi, then it would be Paul George, then it would be Marcus Morris. And after a while, you just get flustered and frustrated, and you say no mas. James Harden said no mas because it was just late in the third quarter. What was it? That James Harden, 2:57 left in the third. He just waved the white flag and he just went to the bench, and we didn't see him again.
Yeah, he didn't have it. He didn't have it last night, Skip.
So he shoots 4 of 17 and 0 for 8 from 3. And I'll give you, we've seen him melt down before and disappear in big games. But this was the kind of game where they're all over him, and they're all over every Rocket from the three-point line. And the reason that they shot 7 for 42 was hands in face, long arms of the law reaching out into their face on every contested three-point shot. And once they missed 4 or 5 to start with, they got more and more frustrated because
they shot more and more.
The Clippers will not back off on defense. They won't let up. They're just relentless, starting with Patrick Beverley as their little pit bull point guard.
Skip, when you are a three-point shooting team, you have no inside presence. Why would you not guard the three-point line? You're not worried about it. There's only two guys that can get around you.
Okay.
That's Russ and that's Harden.
Okay.
So no inside presence. So why would you not guard the three-point line? That's their only chance of winning. Skip, if you tell me they're going to make between 18 and 25 threes a night, Skip, I say, you know what? They got an excellent chance. But the likelihood of winning 4 games and when they shoot 18 or 25 made threes, that's not happening. You know that.
Okay, I don't know if you noticed, but Russell Westbrook played as hard last night as I've ever seen him play, especially as they were getting blown out in the second half. He went berserk. He was playing possessed because he was ashamed that they were getting embarrassed on their home floor on national television. And he was trying to say, no, 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 I will not accept this. And he's diving for every loose ball, and he's attacking every rim he could see. And he was having a harder and harder time because Zubats and Montrez can flat out protect the rim.
Yeah.
And they do it nasty. They are fighting, scratching, clawing. You are going to get met at the rim if you attack their rim. And Russ kept getting met and rejected.
He missed some easy ones too, though, Skip.
But
he
again,
did miss some easy ones.
He's having a harder and harder time just trying to go up through the trees to fight to get a clear shot at the rim. And again, he had a nice game in the end. You look at the bottom line to it, but
23 and 15.
29, right? 29 and 15?
Yeah, 29 and 15.
29 and 15. But look at what it took 11 of 27 shots.
Right.
There were so many missed shots at the rim because he only took 2 threes, and obviously.
Because you think about it, Skip, a lot of these, he had 7 offensive rebounds. A lot of those was his own miss because he's right there at the rim. He got 3 rebounds in 1 possession. But that's what happens. I mean, like I said, Skip, look, I'm not saying the Clippers aren't good because they looked good last night. But I don't believe it was all about them. I believe the Rockets and their inability to make open threes. And then when they couldn't make them, Skip, it's like all of a sudden they started airballing. P.J. Tucker shot a couple of air balls. A couple of their guys shot air balls. You're not winning a game. At one point, Skip, they were 3 of 31 from the three-point line. Who you beating?
Shannon, this just keeps happening to quality opponents that have to play the Clippers at this point in the year when they're whole. Because we go back 6 games ago. Do you remember the Memphis game when it was 40-14 after a quarter?
Yeah.
It was 90-66 after 3 quarters. And then we look at Denver went to the Clippers on a Friday night. It was 98-79 after 3 quarters. I don't even care what happened in the fourth because it's over. And then at Oklahoma City, I told you the other night, I never seen anything quite like that because Oklahoma City is tough at home. It was 89-70 after 3 quarters. Last night it was 90-65 at Houston. Man, 90-65.
You keep on saying OKC at home. Woo. We beat them by 20 without Braun at home.
Okay, good for you. Now the Clippers are rolling right on time as we head toward April.
Have you seen what we doing?
Yeah.
Have you been watching the Lakers? Have you been watching Goat James since the All-Star break? I just want to know, have you tuned in?
I've seen the Lakers play the Clippers twice this year. And just for the record, I saw opening night. And I saw 85-85 after 3 quarters, so that was pretty good. And then what happened in the fourth? Nothing good happened for the Lakers because AD got zonked. He went 0, and LeBron scored a grand total of 2 points. And the Lakers just pulled away and won 112-102, thanks to Montrez, who had 10 in the fourth, and Kawhi had 7 in the fourth. What happened on Christmas? Your Lakers made a statement. LeBron hit a step back with 6:39 left in the game to put them up by 7. Help me out. What happened down the stretch of that game?
Lost.
17-5 Clippers happened. Kawhi scored 9 down the stretch. LeBron managed to score 1 down the stretch. Made 1 free throw and should have made the other one to cut it to 2, but he missed it.
Oh, my goodness.
So that left it at 3. And do you remember what happened, what Pat Bev did to LeBron at the end? He had a chance to tie it, shoot this 3.
He stripped the ball.
Go ahead, go up and shoot it. Well, little man, that little 6-footer just took the ball right out of his hand. I don't know. It's like 6 feet versus 6'9" and 6'1". I don't know how. That's very interesting to me. So there's another statement made by the Clippers, who are 2-0 against the Lakers, and they have a strong chance to go 3-0 against the Lakers. Am I right?
No, you're not right, because they're not going 3-0.
So I'm going to give you this. I believe LeBron will rise and shine tonight because this is all that can matter to him. He needs the MVP. He needs to go tie Michael Jordan with a 5th MVP, and I believe the media and the league are prepared to make him that guy.
Guess what we're about to get, Skip?
Yep.
We're also about to close into one. Finals MVP, because we're about to be a 4-time, be in second place all by our lonesome.
So LeBron, in his 17th season at age 35, has got to pick his spot. Should I give it all tonight? Remember what he did? He took it easy on Ja the other night, and they lost. Remember that? They lost badly just because he could save it all for the big kid down in New Orleans.
Ain't nobody worried about them.
Yeah, nobody worried about them, but LeBron put a number on him. He did a number, right?
Yeah, just like the Tuesday. Remember that Tuesday before we dropped 40 piece on him?
Triple-double.
Yeah.
So, to me, I see a triple-double coming from LeBron tonight against Giannis. I believe Giannis might outscore him. He'll probably have more rebounds, but I believe LeBron will go triple-double, and it will be a resounding MVP message.
I need you to look beyond Friday. Do you see what's brewing on the horizon on Sunday?
I see LeBron out of gas on Sunday because I see LeBron saying, you know what, we're just not good enough to deal with those guys at this point.
We're going to do a number on Kawhi.
Yep.
We're going to do a number on Kawhi.
Well,
you know what, Skip
He's been doing a number on you because that commercial is airing every other commercial. And I love it.
Look here. You know what, Skip Bayless?
He got now.
I might call AD and Bron and say, look here, chill on Sunday. Because, see, I want the narrative to be the Lakers can't beat the Clippers. Come playoff time. That's what I want the narrative to be.
Somebody just planted an excuse.
No.
Somebody needs an excuse just in case.
Skip Bayless.
Oh, so we're going to take it easy so we can say,
the narrative. Because I know how you going to do it. Come playoff time, the Clippers beat them 4 straight. They're mentally weak. They're fragile. And then we going to go out there mollywop them.
Really?
Yeah, but I was thinking about, no, that's not going to happen. As a matter of fact, I want 3 cases of dew on Sunday.
Okay, done.
3 cases.
Done.
3.
I got it. Done. Thank you. You want 4?
No, I just want 3. I just want 3.
The one you lost.
I want 3.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that one back tonight because we got another. We're gonna have 5 cases because we got 2 on the night game.
We have none on top. I just picked the Lakers. I just told you the Lakers will put all their eggs in this basket.
I don't want you. Hold on. I don't want you picking the Lakers.
Yep, I pick them all the time. They're a good team, but they're not this team. Man, did you see what Kawhi did to Covington last night? Did you see? Could we see that just to remind the Lakers of what they're up against?
Probably should.
You know,
just
this was
refresher.
like
Jen, I can't believe
quick refresher.
Jen, I can't believe you, Jenny.
See this, please?
I mean, I like good basketball, and we're about to see it. And it's building up for Sunday.
Ain't nobody can see it. It's gone. They ain't got it.
We got
Maybe
it.
they get it.
We're
Wait, there it is.
for it.
Wait, it magically reappeared. Boom! Claw!
Yeah, it was pretty.
A claw slam right over Covington. Covington's just as big as Kawhi is. They're both 6'7", right? Boom!
Yeah.
Oh, posterization.
Well, he got Zubas out there blocking like he a left tackle. He should have got to the.
Good.
Look at this.
LeBron, you watching? Rich Paul, you watching? Rich Paul, wake up LeBron. You should wake him up right now. Call him and say, you seeing what's on Undisputed?
We ain't worried about it. Rich is good.
Yeah.
Rich is good. We got this.
You're good?
Yeah.
You know what, Skip? I might even call Rich and go to the game on Sunday.
Really?
I might go to the game on Sunday.
Okay, sit
go to the
courtside.
game.
Oh, yeah. I would.
Bad luck for LeBron. Yeah, jinx him.
I might have on my 23 jersey.
Yep.
I'm afraid you would get on the court if you were there.
I might.
You might get a little too crazy.
I might.
So
Kawhi.
LeBron's going to be dribbling up thinking, wait a second, Kawhi had me last time. Now Paul's on me? And what Marcus is waiting in the wings to take me? They'll just keep switching up on him.
Skip, do you remember? You remember what he did to Marcus Morris when he was at the Celtics, right? When Marcus had that great game 1, and talk about he going to tell his grandkids about what he did? And LeBron said, tell your grandkids that.
Remember,
Okay.
He'll have him like 6 or 8 trips, and then there'll be 6 or 8 over here and 6 or 8 over here.
We got O'Keefe. We got the evil twin.
You got the worst twin.
No, we don't.
Yep,
Ain't no such thing as a worst twin. They're
have
identical. Same genes.
You have the second twin. But tonight is your night, and I'm going to give you this one. So everybody watch what happens. This is LeBron for MVP because he knows that's all he's going to win this year.
And
watch.
And what we're going to do is this is how we're going to divvy this thing up. LeBron going to do that work tonight. Come Sunday, AD gonna put in work
Really?
on Zubats and Trez.
Really?
Yep.
Listen, Montrez is the beast of the West, not of the East. He's the beast of the West. He makes them go because he is a relentless rebounder and an underrated scorer in the paint. He's got sweet moves, nice touch. He's a good free throw shooter, getting better and better by the shot. Gets great high arc on his free throws, and he is a difference maker.
I mean, he was 19 and 10 in 22 minutes.
Way to go.
19 and 10 and 22.
Yep. What are you going to do?
Because they can't keep him off the glass.
Yep.
But that's what we got D. Howard for. D. Howard in our second unit be whitewashing everything. Give me that.
Really?
Give me that.
Okay.
I bet you we won't get out rebounded. We won't be -9 at the half. That's for sure.
So I got Clippers 110 to 100 on Sunday. 110 to 100. What do you got?
You gave me the 4 points, so I don't care.
I didn't give you any points. No, you said straight. You said
I
3
didn't say
cases. Did he say a word about
said
points? I took 3 cases straight up. Period. End of story.
I don't even want them.
Can we adjust?
I don't even want them. I don't want the points. I don't want no
Thank
stinking
you.
points.
Well, you're not going to get them because you didn't.
Oh, AD probably had 35 and 15.
Okay, good.
Braun to have a little, probably 26, 11, and 9. And the win.
And the win?
And the win.
I got 110, 100.
I just want you to know, just so you know, Skip Bayless, just prepare yourself for Monday. Prepare yourself for Monday, Skip.
Okay.
I'm coming out here, I'm having pots and pans because I'm cooking. The goat cooking on Monday morning.
Really?
I'm cooking sausage, I'm cooking pancakes, French toast, because that's what we're going to do to y'all Sunday afternoon, Sunday night. Yeah.
Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Here.
Y'all gonna get done.
12:30 here.
Right here.
Y'all get
A
it.
little early for
Home
LeBron
team.
to be awake after
See?
a long Saturday night. I don't know.
Oh, you see already, because you remember last time they lost, and he's like, it's hard to get adjusted, guys getting up. That's what you made that excuse last time. When they got the brakes beat off.
It's got to be a little bit weird.
Whoa. How early is it too early to get that check? They get that check, they check them accounts in the middle of the night, the money in the account. They don't say nothing about that. I wouldn't hear nobody's playing at 12:30. Everybody gonna be playing at 12:30.
You seem a little off balance today.
I feel real good.
Do you?
I feel real good.
I think you know what you saw last night.
I don't know if you saw this, but after talking to the Lakers, I feel even better. After talking to them on Wednesday, I feel better.
Yeah.
I feel good.
Yeah.
I love L.A.
Yep.
You love it, Skip? I love it.
I love it too, but I don't know if I love it as much as you do right now.
You just went from James Brown to Randy Newman in the same
What
sentence.
direction are we going?
That's a harsh transition.
I love L.A.
Yeah.
You will too. And after it's all said and done, guess what it's going to be, Skip? A Bron town. A Bron town.
Not with those New Balance commercials
You want to
been
say it
telling
one more
me.
time? What is the slogan?
Which
For
part of
Kawhi?
it? We got now.
We got now.
Now.
I'm kind of starting to
It's over.
Y'all ain't got
about
nothing.
this guy a little bit
You'll
more.
get nothing and like it.
Yep.
Okay,
We
Skip.
got
okay.
now.
You got the deal. Hey, I just want you to know. I'm
I'm
preparing
feeling
you.
really good about
I
this.
feel great.
Really?
I just want you to look. I want you and Azzy, and I want you to prepare yourself.
I see insecurity in you.
Oh, no,
I hear
no.
it in you because you know what you saw.
Okay.
Yep. Here comes
Monday,
the Clippers.
I'm having pots and pans. I'm gonna be on this thing like Salt Bay.
Huh.
Yeah.
pots and pans.
I'm cooking eggs. I'm cooking pancakes, French toast. I'm doing all that, Skip. I might even have the crepes out. You know, I'll make a mean crepe.
Love
Yep.
a good crepe. Okay, well, let's just keep the game going first.
There's always a lot of food at Awake.
Let's
you
just
realize
have
that, right?
tonight be a big night for LeBron before you
Oh, we
head
got
to
this. Oh, yeah.
Sunday.
Okay.
Well, on Wednesday, Dana White spoke to Tom Brady during an Instagram live session, and on Thursday, he talked to Tom's boss, who apparently wasn't too happy about the video. In a radio interview, White said Robert Kraft stressed his desire to re-sign Brady, saying, quote, Mr. Kraft wants Tom Brady to be with the Patriots so bad. I just talked to him today, and Mr. Kraft wants Brady bad. Shannon, what does this tell you?
Absolutely nothing. Because we've always known where Mr. Kraft stood on this situation. He's made it abundantly clear. He wants Tom. When Tom first threw this out there, Skip, about he wanting to play the 45, it was Tom Brady and Mr. Kraft. Mr. Kraft was in that camp. Yes, Tommy says it, I believe it, and I want him. Now I need Dana White. I love Dana. Gonna bet him too. I didn't even come to talk to Bill Belichick. Because that's what we need to talk about, right, Skip Bayless? Because we know where Tom Brady stands. We know where Mr. Kraft stands. I need to know where Hoodie, Coach Belichick, The greatest coach in NFL history.
Says you.
No, it don't say everybody.
I'm not everybody.
Don't do that, Skip Bayless. You just want to be the lone dissenter.
No, I do not.
Hold on. Coach Belichick got 6 of them rings, 9 appearances, and you want to put somebody in front of that?
Bill Walsh, he invented his own offense.
Coach
picked all of his players.
Who you think? How you think all those players got to New England?
I got it.
A lot of them ones that cast off other places.
You know, does Bill call plays? No.
He called defenses. Called defenses.
Okay.
But anyway, Skip, stop interrupting me. Look.
You asked me and I corrected you.
Skip, look. Tom Brady is very good. He's not good, he's great for Mr. Kraft business. Doesn't matter. But see, at the end of the day, Coach Belichick looks at it like this. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, Tom stays another year, 2 years. And then all of a sudden, he's no longer there. And they're not the same team. They go 7-9 or they go 8-8. That record goes on Mr. Kraft's resume or it goes on Bill Belichick. So it affects people differently.
Well, the truth is it goes on both their resumes.
No.
It
Hey, when the last time you look at Mike Brown? Ain't nobody talking about Mike Brown's record.
I think we talk about it all the time.
No, we talk about how stingy and how dysfunctional it is. But we don't.
Marvin Lewis never won a playoff game.
Marvin Lewis. So during that time, who was the owner when Marvin Lewis wasn't winning a playoff game? Mike Brown.
And
we didn't mention him.
What pass did we always give Marvin Lewis? Well, he is coaching for the cheapest, stingiest mom and pop owner in pro football.
In all the sports.
Yep.
Maybe.
But
Skip, look, this doesn't tell me anything. It really doesn't, because we know where Mr. Kraft stands with Tom Brady. He views him as a son. He treats him like a son. You remember, Skip, his mom, Tom's mom was going through her battle with cancer.
Sure.
He gave her a ring that only the coaches and players got. That shows what he thought of Tom, what he thinks of Tom, what he thinks of Tom's family. So Dana saying this, that Mr. Kraft wants him back, I'm not surprised by that. But if Dana wants to really get that podcast or whatever he's doing, IG Live going, get Coach Belichick on and have Coach Belichick says, I really want Tom back. Now he owned to something.
That's the get one.
Wants him bad.
Yeah, he said he wants him bad. Hey, and Coach Belichick says, I want him gone bad.
That's true. I agree with that. So what did I tell you yesterday? Gee, we haven't heard a peep out of the man who really counts. The buck stops on the desk of Robert Kraft, who has gone radio silent in all of the above. And he's effectively still radio silent because he did not speak out publicly. Dana, secondhand,
spoke on his behalf
for him.
Yes.
And Dana said that Mr. Kraft called him out of the blue, upset with him because he seemed to be campaigning for Tom to sign with Dana's
Raiders.
Newtown team, because Dana now lives in Las Vegas, but Dana grew up in New England, a big Patriot fan.
Correct.
Actually in Maine, but it's still Patriot Nation,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, so it came across off the first reports off the Tom plus Dana, whatever it was.
Instagram
Live.
IG Live.
Right? Was it the same thing? I think it was. That Dana was campaigning to get him to the new Raiders home in Las Vegas. Correct?
Well, he did preface it, Skip. He says, I love to see Tom in New England, but...
Okay, but he made that clear yesterday.
Right.
He said to Robert Kraft, like, time out, I'm out of context here.
Fair.
But then Mr. Kraft relates to him, I want him back bad, real bad, he said. Okay, do we believe that? Yeah,
Yes.
we believe that.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that is the case.
Right.
And do I think behind the scenes that Robert Kraft will do everything in his power to make Tom happy enough to finish out in New England? I do. And that could be money or love. Those are the two things that Kraft has to offer, right? Money and love. So would he try to break the bank for him for the first time ever and say, do you want $40 million next year to play or for the next 2 years? Let's do $40 million. He could do that if he wanted. That's his call, right?
Yes.
And there's going to be all kinds of I love you Tommies going on, right?
Yes.
And I love your mom and your dad and your sisters, and I love everything about you, and it would be just wrong for you to leave us now because you were born to finish in New England. 2 more years. Let's do 2 more, and then we'll see how we feel. But for sure, let's book in 2 more years right now.
Right.
Whatever money you want, whatever new conditions you want. Do you need Mondays off, every Monday off? You don't want to come in on Monday, whatever you want. I think Robert Kraft will offer that. Bill Belichick will not offer any of the above.
Exactly.
So
definitely
to me,
not that Monday off.
No. and so there's going to be an internal clash between Kraft and Belichick. Well, we saw that happen 2 years ago,
Right.
and we're pretty sure Kraft won that one.
He won it.
He
Oh, no
overruled,
question. Yeah,
right?
yeah, he did. No
he
question.
said, no, you got to trade Jimmy. We're
Right.
going to keep Tom, trade Jimmy.
Correct.
So is it possible there's going to be an internal showdown between the owner and the coach over this? Is it possible the coach will balk to the point that he'll want out over this? He might. It's possible.
Skip, you and I both believe and agree with that Mr. Kraft won the first round, that he says Jimmy goes, Tommy stays. I don't believe this time he will intervene. Now, it could. Now, here's what's at play, Skip. Tom Brady knows Mr. Kraft has the final say. Now, you've overruled him one time. Mr. Kraft doesn't want the blood on his hand. Tommy goes somewhere else, knowing that if Mr. Kraft really, really, truly wanted him, he could have put his foot down and says, Bill, Tommy's not going anywhere.
He could have.
He doesn't want the Skip. He doesn't want that, because at the end of the day, Skip, like when a player of Tom Brady caliber leaves, it's because the owner did not intervene. It's just like when you sign off, like there's some contracts that you just like, okay, I'm gonna let Bill handle that. But when you start getting to the big dollars, you got to run that up to the owner.
Sure.
And what I'm thinking about offering this guy $120 million, 100, or whatever it is, Skip. In a situation like this, you got to run that. You just can't cut Tom Brady. You just can't trade Tom Brady like you can any other player. You got to run that by the owner.
Okay.
So if the owner okays it and Tom leaves, Tom is never going to forget that. Do you think, Skip, look, Peyton has a great relationship with Mr. Irsay.
Okay.
But he never forgave him for cutting him.
Totally agree.
Totally, he never forgave him. He deals with Mr. Irsay with a long handle spoon.
I don't think he calls him Mr., but go ahead.
Yeah, he calls him. But you know, it's funny. It's funny.
interesting.
I call all the owners Mr. and Mrs. except Jerry, because he don't want you to call him. He wants you to call him by address.
Jerry's in
so
boat.
I address him by. But Mr. Irsay, and even though Skip, he had they put a statue in front of Lucas Oil, but he's like, I can't forgive you for what you did.
Yep.
So that's at play too.
Okay.
And it tugs at, because like I said, Skip, we haven't seen a situation like this. It's not very often that an owner gets this close to a player where he views him as a son.
I agree.
Jerry and Tony Romo.
Yep.
But this is even deeper.
I agree. Deeper. Because they won so much together.
Yes.
There's something about, as you well know, when you win with somebody, the bond created is everlasting.
Yeah.
It's deep.
The amount that they won, Skip,
Yep.
you win 1 or 2, you're like, oh, yeah, that's great. Skip, you win 6. They're doing things that's probably in our lifetime we're never going to see again.
I'm not sure in anybody's
We're not going to see it, Skip. So, yes, that's at play here. But at the end of the day, I believe it's going to be Coach Belichick's call. And if he's back, because the love and adoration that you said Mr. Kraft has, I really believe Tom wants that from Bill. He wants that from Coach Belichick.
Okay.
Something that he hasn't received in 20 years.
Thank you. So I will remind you, the most significant comment we heard from Tom Brady happened 2 years ago in the offseason after the New England-Philadelphia debacle Super Bowl, in which Tom threw for 505, put up 33, and they lost 41-33.
Right.
And Tom was out here on the West Coast in Santa Monica, not very far from here, at some kind of a convention where he was paid to speak, and Jim Gray was his paid moderator. And Jim asked him a very pointed question. Do you feel like you have received the appropriate gratitude from, and he just said, the Patriots.
Right.
He didn't specify coach or owner, just from the Patriots. Appropriate gratitude. What was Tom's answer? I plead the fifth. Really? That guy's pleading the fifth? Well, that wasn't about Robert Kraft. That was about the head coach, right?
Because Mr. Kraft, he prays on Tom Brady every chance he gets.
He gets way more than appropriate gratitude from the owner.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So now the owner is irrelevant in this this formula that we're going to have to try to figure is going to send Tom to New England or out of New England. To me, I'm going to stand by this, and I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I think Tom has already decided, I just don't want to be with that coach anymore. I think he's going to say, I'm going to go pick my team, my new team, and you go pick your new quarterback, and then let's just get it on and see what happens. Let's see who gets to the finish line first, if either one of us do, right?
Because that's what it's all about.
So that renders Robert Kraft irrelevant in this equation because he can coo all he wants to Tom, and it won't matter because Tom's going to know, I don't really live with you. I live with him on a daily basis.
Skip, that's it. Skip, I can, Jenny and I have a great relationship. So I can tell Jenny she looks nice all I want to. It's not the same.
I did not know that. That's news to me.
It's not the same as coming from Matt. You see, somebody else outside can say,
I don't know.
It's definitely different.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. When Matt says,
Friendship.
babe, you look nice.
Oh.
You look really good today. That does something to Jenny. Tom Brady wants Coach Belichick that says, I want you back bad. You are the reason. You're the guy. That's what he wants.
What did the Boston Herald report yesterday? The first phone call and probably the last between the two did not go well.
But Skip,
you surprised?
No, Skip, what did Tom expect to get from Coach Belichick?
Oh, just like naively, like little kidly. Like,
oh, golly gee whiz.
Like maybe this time? Maybe because I got all the cards over here.
You ain't got no cards. He said you ain't got no cards. But Coach Belichick said I already know your hands. It doesn't matter the cards you have, Skip, when you're playing poker, you could have a great hand. But if I got my cards, I hold what's in my hand. You don't know what I got up my sleeve. You could have a full house and I'll bluff you off it. Coach Belichick says, I'm going to bluff you off this hand, Tom.
I think Coach Belichick is just folded and he's going to another table. No, seriously, that's where he's going. He said, I'm getting a different game.
No,
I don't even need
let me tell you what Coach Belichick did. With a 10-deuce offsuit, shoved all in. On a guy that got 6 Super Bowls with 9 Super Bowl appearances, a 10-deuce offsuit, he moved all his chip to the middle of the table. Okay. Your move, Tom.
All right. Well, there is one power play move that Tom could reach for, and you know what that is?
Oh,
he could call Daddy and say, him or me.
Yeah.
Right? I'll come back if he's gone. You could. Yeah. But you know what? Tom is too smart and too politically correct and too guarded in his image, too guarding of his image to have that blood on his hands.
Well, he already did it one time before.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. He told Mr. Kraft, Daddy. You see what Coach Belichick tried to do?
He did not say get rid of Bill.
No. He's like, I want to stay. Jimmy needs to go.
Okay, but Tom Brady does not want the long-term blood of Belichick on his hands. He's not going to do that.
We're choosing between him or Tom Brady is going to do self-preservation. Yeah. Whether it means Coach Belichick leaves or I get to stay till I play until I'm 45, I believe Tom Brady chooses playing until he's 45, even if it means playing for Josh McDaniels, because we all believe that's who would move to the head coach.
I would think so.
Can we avoid calling Mr. Kraft Daddy? It doesn't stick right with me. And it just doesn't. I'm hoping we can move on from that.
What you want to call it?
Mr. Kraft.
Oh, okay.
His name.
I don't think he called it Mr. Kraft.
It's not Daddy, though.
Okay.
It's just, I know it's fun around here, but I'm going to move that one on.
No mercy.
How about LeBron James, though, in his 17th season, has a chance to win his 5th MVP award. The only thing standing in his way is a certain young buck. You guys got that one?
Yep.
And ahead of the Lakers game tonight against Giannis, the MVP debate has never been hotter between the Greek Freak and the King. LeBron, however, insists that winning the regular season MVP award isn't a motivating factor for him. Take a listen.
It's never motivated me. Regular season MVP has never motivated me. To be the best to ever play the game has motivated me and has resulted in me being able to be league MVP a couple times. But I've never gone into the season saying, okay, league MVP is what I want to be. I've gone into the season saying, okay, I want to be the MVP of this team. I want to be the best player in the world. And how I approach my game every day, how I take care of my body every day has resulted in it.
Well, Shannon, do you believe this?
I do now, Skip, because there was a time when if you won the MVP, it was automatically assumed that you were the best player in the world. But then something happened. In the 80s came along, they had this guy named Michael Jordan. And then in the 90s, when he started winning MVPs on a consistent basis, other guys would win, and they're like, oh, yeah, he's the MVP, but he's not the best player in the world. That guy in Chicago is. And I think that refocused LeBron. LeBron's like, hold on, wait a minute. Because he's said this before. MVP and best player are two different things. You could have an MVP season. You could have a season like, wow, he had an MVP season. That doesn't mean he's the best player. LeBron James has been the best player for a decade. Nobody's had a stretch like this, a run like this. So I do believe, Skip, that he understands that winning Finals MVP for his third different team would mean more than winning an MVP for his third different team. To win a championship for three different teams and you be the driving force behind all three, that puts you in a category that you're in a room all by yourself. Now, obviously, he's already done something that only Kareem has done. Win multiple MVPs with two different teams. Kareem is 3-3. 3 with the Bucks, 3 with the Lakers. LeBron is 2-2, Cleveland and Miami. So now to win another one, Skip, which would tie him with Michael Jordan, with his third team, that would be a huge honor. But give him truth. You like to say give him truth serum. LeBron, regular season MVP or Finals MVP. We already know which one he's picking. To win a championship, to win a title. Yes, Skip, to win Finals MVP this late in your career, to win a regular season MVP this late in your career, that is a huge accomplishment. I'm not going to try to sweet like it's just like winning the first. No. Because he would be doing something that's unprecedented. I mean, I don't know a whole lot of people that thought LeBron would be in the MVP conversation. I did, but him. You said AD was Skip.
Did you not pick AD?
I picked AD.
Thank you.
No, hold on.
You're raising your hand like I did?
No. I said they're going to split the votes. Oh. I did think LeBron could play at an MVP level. I thought, Skip, I said he would lead the league in assists, double-digit assists. I thought he would score somewhere between 23 and 25 points a game. I thought it would be closer to maybe 23, 24. I didn't see him getting this many points because AD was going to be the focal point. But, Skip, look, when you've been at it this long and you've been at the top of the mountain for so long, you have to find other things that motivate you. For LeBron James to be the best player in the world in year 17 is unprecedented. I mean, it would be if he were to find Finals MVP, it would be the latest anybody's ever won it. It would be later than Kareem, who won it in year 16 in '85. You remember that, Skip? So I mean, for LeBron just he's the youngest to do things, and now as he's reached the ripe old age, getting in his 30s, he's becoming the oldest to do things. Skip, I mean, hey. But if you're the youngest and now you're the oldest, there's a hell of a lot of things that went on in the middle between that gap, Skip Bayless, and he's just filling in. And when it's all said and done, there'll be no debate. You can take it to the Supreme Court and argue in front of Judge Roberts and Sotomayor and Kagan, Ginsburg. Go, James! Now get up out my courtroom, Skip.
I'd like to see you in a courtroom. What do you got?
That might have been the most outlandish mess that's ever come out of your mouth. I am calling BS on you, and I'm definitely calling BS on your man, LeBron James, because he wants this so bad he can taste it like Twizzlers, right? That's what he can taste. He desperately needs the 5th MVP to tie Jordan, and the odds are probably against him to win an MVP next year or the next year because they will obviously be in decline because of Father Time.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
Why is he going to be in decline and Tom Brady isn't? Jenny, you noticed that?
Because Tom Brady plays a completely different sport in a completely different position than LeBron does, because LeBron's requires athleticism and physicality and contact.
That's what I wanted to hear you. That's all I wanted to hear you say, that Tom Brady isn't athletic. That's all I wanted. Jenny, you see what I did, Jenny? I make him say it. I don't have to say it.
Very different.
This was the all-time humble brag because he suddenly was speaking a different tune, whistling a different tune that he did just last Sunday night, right after the game on the floor. I believe the game was on ESPN, and could we hear what LeBron had to say?
Yes.
I think he was campaigning.
No, he wasn't.
I think he was.
You can't be a league MVP without team success and your teammates doing all the dirty work. So, for me, I try to be an MVP every single night for our team on both ends of the floor, offensively and defensively, with my command, with my voice, with my approach. And if that results in an award, then so be it. But at the end of the day, that's an award for all of us because we all sacrifice every day.
Hint, LeBron dropped. without provocation. He wasn't asked about it. He just suggested it.
He did drop it.
No,
they asked him about the MVP, Jenny.
If that results in an award, then so be it. And he knew that the groundswell had started. The league needs him to be the MVP. The media wants him to be the MVP. You are campaigning for him to be the MVP, and you have for a month. And it's okay. I'm with it because I do believe he's going to win the MVP. But just own it. Don't try to duck and dodge it. And don't try to plant any excuse before tonight's game, because I think he's feeling a little heat, because this will now be billed as an MVP showdown with Giannis. And fair or unfair, it's going to be. And I think LeBron will rise and shine, as I told you earlier, and slightly outplay him.
Yep.
But just own it. Don't tell me it's never really mattered to you, because it's everything to him, because he realizes it's game over with Michael Jordan as far as championships go.
No, it's
because
not.
It's 6-0 to 3-6 in the finals. It's over.
Well, if we
it's
get to
way
6 and
over.
6, it'd be great.
And the 6 has included some all-time disasters and meltdowns.
Skip, stop saying that. It was one time in 2011. Skip, I will concede that. But all the rest of them, he was not favored. You expect him and J.R. Smith, and George Hill, and Rodney Hood to beat the Warriors. Really, Skip?
Do you realize what happened in 2014? My Spurs, you could say they were favored. I can't remember that because it was LeBron and D. Wade and Bosh against aging Duncan, Ginobili, and aging. And it seemed like the groundswell then, I was there, it seemed like it was all Heat all the time. And you know what happened? Your Heat, LeBron's Heat, got blown off the floor by a record finals margin. And go look back carefully at what happened in games 3 and 4 in Miami. LeBron just shrank and disappeared in both games. I was dumbfounded because I was scared that LeBron was going to take the series over when they returned home. It was 1-1.
D. Wade was battling chronic knee problems, pain and issues at that point in time. And look at what he averaged in that series. That was not the D. Wade that we had just seen the year before, or the D. Wade that we knew and loved from all.
We were talking about the GOAT.
But I'm Skip. Hold on. Now you just told me you would take a team of 10 over 2. So you mean to tell me you're not going to take a team of 6 or 7 over a team of 1?
No, not when it's the GOAT, right? The GOAT in his prime. The GOAT's not in his prime anymore. I don't care what you say.
I can't tell. Mm-hmm. I can't tell. You can tell he in his prime because I can't.
We got a long way to go, and he's been burning a lot of gas early.
A long time to go. Guess what, Jenny? We got a short time to get there.
Yeah.
I ain't got number time on my hand. Time, you know what, Skip? Time is the one thing that I have more than money. That's what I got.
Look at that quote.
That's what I got, Skip Bayless. I got a lot of that.
I don't know what that has to do with anything, but the point is, LeBron needs accolades. That's all he's got right now. He needs longevity milestone achievements, such as, look, America, look, world, I just passed Michael Jordan in scoring. I just passed Kobe in scoring.
Did that.
Yeah, and I'm going to just
Carl Malone, you on deck.
I will throw social media parades when I do that.
Oh my goodness!
These things don't mean anything to me, but I'm going to throw parades on social media.
So accolades.
And I'll do humble brags like, I don't have the words. I'm speechless. I don't know. How did I do this? It's a miracle.
Hold on. I just want to make sure I hear you correct. So accolades don't mean anything. So how did Michael Jordan become the GOAT? So could he become the GOAT, Jenny, without 5 regular season MVPs, without 6 finals MVPs? Are those accolades a simple yes or a simple no?
6-0 with 6 finals MVPs. That's all you need to know. Period. End of statement. It's over.
So those are accolades.
It's over. You're already disqualified.
So those are accolades.
Did Michael Jordan ever melt down in an NBA Finals and you said, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh,
Game 3 against the Big 3 Celtics, Jenny. He went back home, had 19. He wasn't even the leading scorer.
I asked you in the NBA Finals, and I don't think they played the Celtics in the Finals.
Hold on. They didn't play the Finals in 86? I could have swore the Celtics won the Finals in 86. You mean to tell me they didn't win the Finals? Oh, my goodness. I got to go back and look at history because I could have swore the Celtics beat the Rockets in the 86 Finals. Akeem Olajuwon and Ralph Sampson. I could have swore that happened, Jenny. But my memory, comes and goes. I'm a little older now.
Shannon, you're the only one in the world who thinks LeBron is the
No, I'm not.
We've had a parade of people sit there, and every one of them says, Shannon,
Not every one of them. Not every one of them,
Trying to
no.
find out. Yeah, not everyone.
Yeah, exactly. I got
I
a lot
think
of
it's
guys.
everyone.
And after we win the title this year, like I told you, Skip Bayless, we gonna get us 2 more chips. And then you have to take this court. You have to take this before the Supreme
You might
Court.
get 2 more chocolate chips. I don't know. 'Cause you might get them right after the show. I don't know.
Oh, you
Right?
got jokes. Oh, you got jokes this morning. Okay.
right.
With your day coming. Oh, I'm going to the parade.
Yeah.
I'm taking off. I'm not coming
You're
in.
scheduling?
I'm telling you right now. I ain't gonna do like Bonnie and Sound, just call in the night before.
gosh.
I am telling you now. I'm telling you 3 months in advance, I'm not coming in, I'm going to the parade.
Why don't we do
Really?
the show from the
Nope,
parade?
nope, I don't want nobody there with me.
Oh, okay.
Because it's all about me that time, Skip Bayless. I'm gonna be on the parade, me
All
and
about
Goat,
you.
Savannah, Bronny, we throwing bees and everything.
I didn't used to believe this until we were on the other show, and he told me he was going to the parade if they won, and then he's up there like photobombing LeBron. He's like stalking him, uninvited. Like nobody asked you.
And what-
You just showed up.
And what did I do? I spoke that into existence. Because I told him, I said, Skip, I'm gonna be driving the fire truck. Going downtown.
Really?
Yeah. I'm gonna be there.
Sometimes I don't know what this guy.
My fire truck is fueled by Diet Mountain Dew, and I'm up like, I've lost track, 34 cases. I don't know what.
I'm gonna get them all back.
All back.
Because the way I look at it, the Western Conference Final, we might put 10 on that
Really?
one.
We might.
We might put that. And then the NBA Finals.
Yep.
Ooh, that's another 10.
So who you got in the finals, the Rockets or the Clippers?
What else?
Which you're going to put 10 on the Rockets?
I put 10 on the. Now, you know good and well the Lakers going to the West. Stop it. We going to the NBA Finals. Stop that now.
Okay.
Well, not so sure
Okay.
after what we saw last night. I can't believe it. It was 2013 the last time he won MVP. It's
Hey,
been a long
hey,
time,
hey,
Good
hasn't it?
point.
it?
Been
That's a
long
great
time.
Yeah.
2013?
It's a while.
That might be the longest gap in NBA history,
He's
right?
been waiting. He's been patient. Amari Cooper's future in Dallas remains in question. Dak's #1 target is set to hit the market next week unless the Cowboys tag him or reach a long-term deal. And Cooper didn't mince words when asked about his desire to continue playing for America's team. Take a listen.
Love being a Dallas Cowboy. I was just thinking about that today. I think about it almost every day, really. Just primetime games. It seems like more night games than anybody, and that always feels good to a football player. Everything, the facility, I love it here in Frisco. Just the aura of being a Dallas Cowboy. I mean, you can't beat it. I want to be a Dallas Cowboy for life.
You can't beat it. Shannon, does this give the Cowboys a better chance of keeping him?
Nope, that's a great thing to say on the Dallas morning radio station, Skip Bayless. We've seen this before. I remember Kyrie Irving. Skip, you remember that appearance? Kyrie Irving said, I want to be a Celtic for life.
Oh.
Where Kyrie Irving
well.
playing now? That's what you say. You go on a local radio station, you say all that. What's he supposed to say? Hell nah. So the interesting point is going to be if they don't get a long-term deal signed or they can't franchise or transition tag him, somewhere he hits the open market. $20 million from somewhere else, or you're going to take, say, 14 from the Cowboys. What you thinking, Skip Bayless?
I'll take the 14.
I bet he doesn't. I bet he doesn't. You know that, and I know that. So this means nothing, absolutely nothing to me. He said what most guys will say when they're on local or doing local TV, local radio. They say all the right things. I want to be here forever. KD probably said, oh, man, I love Golden State. They share the ball. We're like family. Where KD playing now, Jenny? Yep, that's right. It's not in
there.
Golden State. So
Not there.
I take when these athletes get on and they say, I love it here and I want to be here, I take that, like you said the other day, with a block of salt, a bag of salt. Forget a grain, a bag.
A bag.
So this means nothing to me, Skip Bayless. I think he's saying all the right things, but we're going to see. We're going to find out.
When Kyrie said what he said at a fan event, did you buy it?
No.
No, neither of us bought it because he'd already indicated some misgivings about being in Boston in the
timing.
first place,
Yeah.
right? He'd already thrown every teammate under the bus, and it seemed like it had already gone sour south, right?
Yep.
You're right.
So it was no shock when he wanted out because they wanted him out, right? This is the flip side of that. We did a topic about Amari yesterday, and the first thing I said to you was, I believe he will re-sign with the Cowboys at a hometown discount because this was my quote to you. I'm going to quote myself. He loves being a Cowboy in Dallas playing for that quarterback. And that's exactly what he said on Dallas radio yesterday, except he said it and then some. He went over the moon because, as we both know, he was stuck in football hell in Oakland, where he made two Pro Bowls. And John Gruden didn't love him.
Nope.
Doesn't have a high enough motor. We started to see the lack of motor and intangibles on the road for Dallas last year. But you know and I know he's about as sweet a route runner as there is in pro football. And he is a gifted young man.
Yep.
And you know and I know what happened the day he walked in the door in Dallas. He was ready for somebody to love him because John never loved him or hugged him or sort of whispered any sweet nothings in his ear where he thought, oh, well, I'm good with coach, because he was never good with coach. But as soon as he walked in the door, and the other quote that we didn't hear was about Dak, we built a really good relationship so far. From the time I got here, we were able to hit the ground running. And just from my experience of being in the NFL, I wouldn't say that's a common thing. It's rare that you completely click with a new quarterback the first throw.
Oh, yeah. No
and
question.
he's been quoted many times about how catchable a ball Dak throws.
Yeah.
He just likes the look of it in the air. You know how that looks.
Yeah.
It just looks right to your eye, and it looks like it's going to catch you almost, like you don't even really have to try to catch it. It's just going to come into your hands and settle, right?
Yeah.
So
Just imagine if you were walking to him. How that'll look.
throwing those rockets.
Walk it to him.
Yeah, those wild rockets.
Don't do that, Skip.
Yep.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
He's more accurate than Dak.
No, he isn't. Oh, stop it. That's 1,000% wrong, and you know it, and I know it.
Hey, that's not what the stats say.
So I told you yesterday, the hometown discount is going to come from the fact that he knows he's in football heaven. As he even went to, I love the facility here.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's a big
I would
deal.
too.
Is money any good in heaven? Because I heard.
I'm talking about football heaven on earth.
Exactly. No. I need money. That's what I need, Skip Bayless. See, you always doing that. Why you do that? Why do you know what, Skip Bayless? I can't believe you. You know what I noticed, Jenny?
What?
These Skip Bayless and billionaires, they don't give me on a discount. The NFL.
Don't put me in the same sentence with billionaires.
Oh, you took a discount for me?
Yeah, I did.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But Skip Bayless, Jerry Jones go. So why is AT&T on that building? So guess what? If Verizon came along or Sprint came along and gave Jerry Jones more money than AT&T, guess what's going to be the name of Texas Stadium? What is going to be, Skip? Is he giving them a discount to keep that name on the building? But they want players to take discounts. Where they do that at? No! Amari, you better go get your money.
What is the oldest cliche in the history of the world? Money can't buy happiness.
I don't want to buy it. I just want to lease it. Let me lease it for about 30 years, Jenny.
And then what?
Yeah, that's all I need.
Money can't buy
I tell you
it.
what.
I'm with you.
Yep.
Good reminder.
I'd rather be sad in a Rolls Royce than happy on the bus.
No, you
I don't know about you,
wouldn't.
Jenny. I'd rather be
You know what?
miserable.
How sad.
That's not true.
That is true.
Because if you're really miserable in that Rolls Royce,
Yeah, I'm miserable.
Life is
Hey, Jenny,
good.
that's how I'm rolling down Wilshire.
yeah, you got problems. Let's say, well, what if you have health problems?
Man, go ahead. There you go.
No,
There-
I'm just saying,
It's
what if
true,
everything's
though.
wrong?
You sound bad.
So let me ask you a question. So you mean to tell me people that got a lot of money? I mean, people that doesn't have a lot of money don't have problems? Don't have issues?
Many do.
Okay.
All people can
Some
have
do,
problems.
some don't. Some are really happy. They got a really
then.
nice life.
Just like you can find you can't. It's just as easy to love somebody that's wealthy as somebody that's poor. So this notion that people have to be in this box in order for you to find love or for you to find happiness is not true. So there are just because you're wealthy doesn't mean that you're miserable. It doesn't mean that you're happy. But if I got a chance to get my money, I'm getting my money.
Okay. And where? In Jacksonville?
Oh,
Is he
yeah.
happy? I don't know.
Oh, if money don't spend in Jacksonville, Jenny?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Actually, it's better there.
Yeah.
Less taxes.
You can-
well,
There's no tax in state. There's no.
you're right.
But it's cheaper in Florida. It's cheaper in Jacksonville. You get a palatial estate.
Really?
A little next to nothing.
Yeah, it's sticky and drippy,
Oh!
and the
Yeah,
humidity is
humidity
terrible.
will get
Yeah.
Okay, what about Dallas, Texas? Where is Dallas?
Lower humidity. Low.
Low.
The humidity is in Sweat City down in Houston. That's where the humidity.
They're close enough. Texas, all that the same.
Yeah.
Skip, baby, you always, you know what? You should work for an NFL team. You should work, because you know you can sell them. You be, hey guys, this is what you do. I know you're worth $20 million, but if you take $5 million, you imagine the team that we can build. Okay,
Okay, remember there's no state income in Texas either, so you've already got that going.
What I gotta do?
And there are probably people watching this show who don't have a whole lot of money who are thinking, gee, if you give me $14 million to play for the Dallas Cowboys.
No. See, and that's the mistake people make. Because, no, you got to put it in your terms. Okay, your job coming to you. There's another job over here that's going to pay you $150. The job that you're at paying you $75, $80. But I really like it here. Yeah, I've been loyal. You've been loyal. Where you going? Oh, yeah, everybody gonna say I'm taking it. Skip, who stays in a job that's not paying them more money? Or that's paying them less money? Come on, Skip, you need to stop this. You trying to convince the people that people stay in jobs. Everybody go. Jenny, you know it. You ought to stop, Jenny. I can't believe you, Jenny.
I'm just thinking about all those jobs out there.
Exactly.
Your career had one hole in it, and only one hole.
What's that?
You didn't play for the Dallas Cowboys. Seriously.
I beat the brakes off the Cowboys.
Well, it didn't matter because you never got to wear that star on the side of your helmet, and it's a big deal.
I had a Bronco, and we kicked that star in the butt.
Okay.
Wop, wop.
Yeah.
And then when I went to Baltimore, we picked their eyes out.
Yeah,
Beat them 28-0.
Nobody really
With Troy.
cared. Nobody
You know
cared.
they had Troy at Emmett, right?
Yeah, I know.
Beat the brakes off them.
Yeah. There's something magical. I've been there. I've been in the middle of it. I know what it feels like. It's America's team. It's forever on your resume. And if you could ever win one for America's team, there's nothing.
What happens if you don't?
What if you do?
And it has been a while.
Hey, yeah, wait, what happened? You don't, Skip. Okay, there's a time, okay, like in the 90s, like there's a stretch from 92 to 95. Woo, y'all won them. Okay, but then there's that stretch from 96 to right now. What y'all got to show on your resume?
All I know is I'm pretty sure Amari Cooper values America's team and Dak Prescott so mightily, it's so important in his life, that he's going to take a couple of million a year less
Skip
to
Bayless.
do it. Watch.
America's team. That's not Amari's team. Amari's team is Amari Cooper, his wife, significant other, his mom. That's his team. That's what he needs to worry about. These guys be worried about these teams, but they ain't starting this team.
Dak will take a hometown. I take a hometown. And then let's go win a Super Bowl.
Jenny, I mean, you don't find anything wrong with that.
No, I'm thinking about it.
The billionaire, a guy that's worth $6 billion.
I know.
One guy that's not even worth $100 million to give him a discount. Where?
Jerry does not have a salary cap on his own personal life and finances.
neither do I.
The cap complicates everything. If you got rid of
I
it.
let Jerry worry about the cap.
There's no yacht cap. You realize that?
I let Jerry, Skip, hold on. That's what you tell me all the time. You make business decisions. When you cut Dez Bryant, what was that about? Oh, the cap. Okay, you cut.
No, that was about he just couldn't play.
Okay. So, but can I not play? So if you cut players that can't play, shouldn't you reward players that can? You're not asking them to take a pay cut. You didn't ask Dez to take a pay cut. Dez would have been more than happy to take a pay cut. You cut him outright. Now you negotiate with me, and then you negotiating in the media. You supposed to be talking to me in Thai France.
And by the way, Amari has revealed himself to be a home player, not a road player, so he's got to take a little discount for that.
Oh, my
God.
God. Mari, you hear this, Mari? You hear this. Skip, you ought to be ashamed. I can't believe you, Skip.
52 catches at home, 27 on the road. 8 games.
What was your quarterback?
That's not fair.
What was your quarterback like on the road? What was his record at home and what was his record on the road, Jenny?
Well, if he'd had a little help.
No, a little help. Yes, that's what Amari said.
It's Amari's fault.
If I'd have had somebody that wasn't skipping passes to me or throwing a couple of them passes, I need to be Kareem to catch them.
You know what? He skipped passes to him on the sideline because he was over there pouting.
Well, Amari said you threw one and made me hurt my knee trying to catch it.
Oh, really?
That's what Amari said.
Yeah, he tweaked his knee at the Jets, I guess.
Oh,
I don't know. After one pass, he tweaked his knee.
Okay. You say the guy doesn't show up on the road. He doesn't play. You said Stephon Gilmore made him tap out. But you want to sign him.
Tapped out.
Why you want him in? Why you want a guy, Jenny, that doesn't play on the road, that won't play through injuries, and he quit when the guy got the best of him, and you still want that guy on your team?
I need a home warrior, not a road warrior. I'll just take a home warrior.
You know good well. In order for you to win championships, you got to win games on the road.
Well, Gallup will do that for me. Maybe Dez will contribute a little bit on the road.
Oh, hold on. You wanted Dez. Hold on, Jenny. You wanted Dez. He waved goodbye to Dez.
I'm desperate.
He
Now
said,
you're back.
good riddance.
Yeah,
And now you want Dez back.
just to play Jason Witten.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I've been thinking about this, though, and I think I would take the money.
Exactly.
Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm taking the money. They can take the extra millions. Just for the record.
I want you to remember that, Skip Bayless.
I remember it right now.
I can handle the humidity. I'll be just fine.
No mercy.
The Lakers will face two huge tests this weekend against the NBA's elite teams. And according to Fox Bet, the Lakers are 1-point favorites against Milwaukee tonight, while they would set the line for Sunday's matchup versus the Clippers, with the Clips as 4.5-point favorites. We're joined now by Fox Sports NBA analyst Chris Broussard. How are you? Good to have you with us.
Almost as great as the Clippers are.
Hey, I'm with you. That was impressive last night.
Stop
oh, my
it.
gosh.
Wait for it. Will the Lakers win one, both, or neither of these games?
They will go 1-1, and they will beat the Milwaukee Bucks
Oh.
tonight. They will beat Milwaukee and lose to the Clippers.
Yep.
The Clippers, I think the Lakers understand they need to win one of these games. They're 0-3 against these teams, and they need to beat the Clippers, and I think they will beat them in the last matchup of the season in April. But the Clippers get so up for the Lakers. Like, I think some Clippers would rather lose a foot than lose a game to the Lakers, you know?
I agree.
And I don't think at this point in the season, even though the Lakers have played fairly hard and they've respected the regular season, I don't know that they're ready to go to the mat with the Clippers like the Clippers will. I'll look back, LeBron's first season in Miami, when they were 0-3 against the Bulls. Remember, that's the Bulls with D-Rose, and they were a great team.
Yeah, you remember that, Skip.
They were 0-3 in the regular season, and then in the playoffs, they beat them 4-1 in the Eastern Conference Finals. So I think the Lakers, that
was D-Rose MVP season.
Yeah, and I think he deserved it because he didn't have Wade and Bosh. He had Joakim Noah and Luol Deng. So, and they had a better record. So, and they were 3-0 against them. So I thought D-Rose, it's a regular season award. We got to remember that. Yeah. But I think it'll be easier for the Lakers to beat Milwaukee. And I don't think, because Milwaukee is technically sound. They shoot it well. They defend. But they don't have the dog like the Clippers have it. And I don't think the Lakers are ready to go there just yet. They'll be ready in the playoffs, even though I think the Clippers will still win. But I don't think they're ready yet. So, look, I think Milwaukee, they shoot a lot of threes. They're accuracy-wise, they're in the middle of the pack. So I think they'll be off from three. And I think the Lakers will get that when they didn't lose on Sunday.
That was some wisdom, Shannon.
Just ask me that question again. What you ask? I mean,
you got them going 2-0.
Yeah. Will the Lakers win one or both?
BOAF. Both. They win in both of these games, Skip Bayless. I want you to hear it right now. And we got Dew. He don't want to give me no Dew on Milwaukee.
I already picked the Lakers. I'm like, Chris, they're going to win tonight. In fact, after I picked him, the spread went up to the Lakers favored by one. I influenced the whole country. I did. It was a pick'em game until I said that.
It makes sense.
But I just want, Chris, I don't know if you're going to be here Monday, but I need you to tune in.
I will. We'll see.
I'm cooking. Because after the GOAT do what he do this weekend right here, I'm coming with pots and pans.
You're going to cook goat?
No. I'm cooking toast, French toast, crepe. I'm cooking. Because GOAT James got this stuff. I don't know if you noticed, but you see that look? He looked different. After the All-Star break, Chris, you look different. Now, you weren't raised on the farm. I was raised on the farm. Yeah. And there are certain animals that, they get a look in the eye. You be careful. You be careful, Skip Bayless. I see that look.
That would be a tiger or
not a goat. Not a goat.
If a goat gets a different look in his eye, he needs to use the restroom.
No, that ain't what it is. Them guys, Skip, the goats. And I ordered me something. I don't know if it's going to be here in time. Got a big old set of antlers.
Oh, my God.
I don't even know if I'm
Where do you even
I'm be looking
that?
like Deontay Wilder coming to the ring. I ain't going to be leading to the side.
Your legs are going to be gone.
You'll be exhausted. Right? The show won't go on.
It might be, Skip. Look, LeBron, they understand. And Skip, what did Chris say? You remember I told you the narrative? I just told you the narrative before Chris got out here, didn't I said, we might let Clippers win the game so we can have that narrative going to the playoffs.
Let them win.
Yeah, that's what I told you. Didn't I just tell you that? And you remember what LeBron did in the fourth quarter? Who did put Bron on in the fourth quarter when they played the Bulls?
Oh, D-Rose.
So I just want you to know, Skip Bayless, come fourth quarter in the playoffs, we're going to see number two. We're going to see him.
Yeah, he's going to have to.
We're going to see him.
Right, good.
We're going to see him.
Vice versa.
Yeah. But we taking sweet. We taking all this. We taking, Skip, all this. Going to be ours. We're going to do it to Giannis tonight. Giannis going to get his business. He going to get his come up tonight. And Sunday at 12:30, Kawhi Leonard in them old orthopedic New Balance shoes, I guarantee you they won't be running any more commercials after Gold James and AD get done with them.
I love that commercial.
2-0, really?
Well, it's a well-done
Don't you love the way Kawhi plays the grand piano?
Why the man have a commercial if he got no speaking part?
something I missed?
You know they doing that because of his personality. They smart. It's smart advertising.
You don't need to see
He tapping on the mic.
I think
My
it's-
guy acting. My guy in a movie. Carrying a movie.
Yeah, but we got now.
You got that.
We got now. So are you BOAF or are you 1-1? Because then you started to plant seeds of doubt about,
not
maybe
sure.
we'll let them have this one. Which
No.
is it?
B-O, capital B, capital O, capital A, capital F. Both.
Both?
Both. What part did you understand, Skip? We getting both of these games.
I didn't understand the part about how maybe we'll let them have
No,
this one,
I was
which
just-
was
Right,
planting
that was a
excuse
little-
just in case.
No.
So you can come in Monday and say, they didn't even try.
No. Why would I let them win a game when I already bet you 3 cases due on the game?
That's a good point.
I ain't gonna just give you 3 cases. Nobody get my cases back.
I'll let you back out right now.
I don't want to back out. As a matter of fact, I want to up it to 1 more case.
Okay, 4. Good. Done. Love it. So, what did we see last night? We saw a continuation of domination because it wasn't just last night. This has been 6 times in a row. 6 straight wins for a Clippers team that is just better than the Lakers because they were just better than the Rockets. This wasn't some indictment of small ball. This was a statement, yet again, made by the Clippers. We're just better. We're deeper. We're superior on offense and especially on defense because we are fiercely committed and dedicated on the defensive end. And we are going to come at you in waves. I felt sorry for James Harden last night because he'd dribble it up one time and it'd be Paul George, and the next time it'd be Kawhi, and the next time it'd be Marcus Morris, and he's just like, stop it. This is not fair. You guys are you're contesting every one of my threes. You're getting hands up in my face, and your arms are too long and your hands are too big. He was getting clawed by Kawhi at the three-point line, and all of a sudden he's going, 4 for 17 and 0 for 8? And he said no mas. With 3:29 left in the third quarter, he just said, you know what? He pulled an Amari at New England. He just said, I'm out. I can't. Stephon Gilmore is too good for me. These guys are too good for me.
Skip, Chris, who are the Rockets going to beat if they go 7 for 42 from the three-point line and your 2 best players score 45 points, but it takes them 44 shots?
Here's the thing, and obviously they were off from 3, but there's a reason they were off from 3.
Thank you.
You know how this look, and some of them were open.
Thank you.
But it was because of the tone the Clippers set. You know how it is. Sometimes you playing with guys that are just faster, more aggressive, getting there, and you can't take the same amount of time and relax to shoot that shot that you can normally. So you got to rush it a little. So even when you're open, you're like hearing footsteps or whatever.
What we going to do about Zubas looking like Elijah Wan?
Well,
Because he
against
got-
that, he won't do that against the Lakers.
Thank you.
But he'll do it against the Rockets for sure.
Trans Harrell getting everything off the glass. In 22 minutes, he's 19 and 10. In 22 minutes,
Shannon.
because you got mini-me's out there trying to, you got 5'11 guys.
He does that to
He
everybody.
ain't gonna do that to AD.
Okay,
He ain't gonna do
we'll
that to
see.
AD.
We'll see.
He ain't gonna do that to Dwight Howard.
You are, and I've said this from the get. Look, Skip knows this. We've been arguing about LeBron since he's been in the league. I would love to see LeBron win this championship, and the MVP for that matter. But I just think the Clippers are better. It's just as simple as that. And I think Giannis is clearly the MVP. But AD is such a big key. And that's why I'm excited about this week, especially Sunday, because he's got to play with that dog in him. And I still think the Lakers have been making a mistake by not forcing that mentality on him. In the fourth quarter, we know LeBron can deliver in the fourth quarter. We don't know it about AD.
But we started-
And they got to make him start doing
But what
it.
I have noticed, Skip, he's not getting his normal rest in the fourth.
Right.
Frank Vogel is bringing him back a lot sooner in the fourth quarter than what we're normally seeing. So you know what that
That's
means.
true.
We geared him up. You smell that? I smell 40-15 on Sunday. You smell that too, huh? 40-15
In the first 3 quarters?
Right.
in the game.
As long as 12 of them come in the fourth.
40-15. We won't even in the fourth. We might be out. LeBron got to get a rest.
Shannon, this is happening right before your very eyes.
What's happening?
It wasn't just last night. The Clippers are suffocating and annihilating teams in 3 quarters. Every good team they've played over the last month because it started with Memphis. Remember, it's 40-15 after a quarter. After 3, it was 90-66. Then came Denver to Staples. It was 98-79 after 3 quarters. It was over. Then at Oklahoma City is really good at home. They are good. It was 89-70 at the end of 3. Last night it was 90-65 after 3 quarters.
We had them
These are 3-quarter scores.
We had them soften Memphis up. Yo, see, but you ain't want to talk about Memphis playing the back-to-back. We had them beat the brakes off them. And hold on, we just went to OKC and beat them without LeBron by 25. And you talk about they tough at home. Really?
Yep.
That was the last time we saw Kyle Kuzma do anything worth talking about.
Shannon, the Clippers have had their full roster 10 times this year, and they're 10-0.
How that's my fault?
10-0.
I can't help it. You got old brittle guys, and my guys are durable.
Their chemistry for having very little practice and games together is impressive. Like, that ball is moving. I know they do a lot of ISO, but the ball moves pretty well, you know, and everybody seems to know their role. We've seen the reports about chemistry issues. I think it's really just the fact that last year in that building, not just on the team, but in the building, it was every possession counts. Not just every game, every possession. Now with Kawhi and Paul George there, they're like, the first regular season don't even matter. Now it's just the May and June and maybe the last month of the regular season. So I think that's an adjustment that some people have bristled at. But when they get on the court together,
I love how they do
chemistry
that.
is there.
I love how they do that. Kawhi locks somebody down, Kawhi's engaged. He get lit up, he don't care nothing about the playoffs. I need y'all to pick a side and stay with it. Because Jason Tatum cooked him. Everybody been cooking him, but he locked down Devin Booker. You see what Kawhi does? Oh, he care about it. No. We're finna do that.
I think he's going to get cooked on Sunday?
Yeah, bro, I'm going to give it to him.
Okay.
Bro, I'm going to put that work on him.
Really?
Bro, I'm going to put that work on him.
I'll bet you 4 cases against that right now.
No, I'm good. I got 4 right now, right here, and we got plenty of cases come playoff time.
Really?
If y'all make it that far.
So 4
If y'all make it that far,
Yeah.
we're about to make it to the top seed the way we're going.
Top what?
Yeah.
Where we going?
I mean, aren't they only like 5 back of the Lakers
Only.
now? 4 back after
That'd be
Sunday?
shocking if they called them.
Inch it away.
Well, you want to put some dew on that? You want to put some dew on that?
Not yet.
I didn't think so.
I don't want to jinx it.
It ain't no jinx.
Yeah.
It ain't happening, Skip Bayless. We got this one.
Chris, thank you.
No mercy.
Amari Cooper and Byron Jones' futures in Dallas remain in question. And Pro Football Focus has Amari ranked as the top wide receiver and non-quarterback free agent, and lists Jones as the top cornerback free agent. And we're now joined by former Cowboys cornerback Orlando Scandrick. So good to have you a part of this conversation. In your opinion, Orlando, how big of a loss would it be to lose both of these guys?
Huge loss. Both Pro Bowlers, both great young players, both very, very young in age. Byron's a homegrown talent. He's a first-round pick. You know, he's everything that you ever imagined from your first-round pick. To get a first-round pick to go and make a Pro Bowl, just to be ascending, and then you get Coop, who they traded a first-round pick for. He's been everything that they've asked for. I mean, I know he's disappeared at times, Skip. I know you've been harsh on him. I know you've been harsh on him, but he impacts the game even when he's not making plays. You have to account for him. He makes the offense Dak-friendly. Everybody know what was going on with Dak. We was kind of regressing before Amari came there, but then Amari comes, he makes it easier on him, and then, you know, has a great repertoire with Dak, and I know Dak wants him back.
I totally agree. It would cripple him. Amari obviously would be the bigger of the 2 losses, considering he would directly affect the quarterback. And if you're having questions whether or not you want to play Dak because you believe he's a franchise quarterback, well, you're not going to pay him if you lose this guy, because it makes no sense. Because we saw what Dak was. He was a good quarterback, but he wasn't even close to what he is now before he got Amari. So it would cripple him. And plus, like O said, you gave up a first round to get him. So it basically, you're losing your first rounder after 2 years.
Yeah.
Look, Byron Jones is unbelievable, but he doesn't take the ball away. He doesn't, I mean, you know, there's a difference between a sack and a strip sack.
It's huge.
What made Deion so unique, Skip, is that not only would people not throw at him, but when they did, he made them pay. Ed Reed was unique. Ed Reed took the ball away. There's value in taking the ball away. He has 2 INTs in 79 games.
He has 19 passes defended and 1 interception since he's become a full-time corner. And I love him. He's like a little brother to me. But when you're talking about from a business standpoint, Coop puts points on the board.
Yeah.
Byron, he's solid. But, I mean, they're switching schemes. They're going away from that Seattle scheme, that cover 3 scheme where you need that long corner to force tips and overthrows. And I think it would cripple him. Like you said, it would cripple him to lose Coop. And, I know they don't want to see Byron go, but I think his price tag, it just doesn't fit in, what they're trying to do as an organization.
Yeah. But and plus, get one thing before you go. I think they've been resigned that they're going to lose him. Of all the free agents, that we says, okay, who can we afford to lose the most? And I think it's him. You wanted to keep Zeke. You want to keep Dak. You want to keep Amari. You wanted to keep D-Law. Byron happens to be the odd man out. You can't pay everybody.
So, I have huge mixed emotions about both players.
Okay.
But I do agree, because of the bond between Amari and Dak, you're going to have to overpay him. But yet again, if they have to pay Dak as much as you say they should pay Dak, it's going to be at the expense of Amari also, because it's just too much money. It's just, have you heard what he's been talking about?
What you want to pay him, huh?
40?
Yeah.
I didn't say no 40.
You said 40, come on.
It's the signing. It's the guarantee.
If you got to pay him, you pay him. I think you pay one, you tag one. Or you try and, if I'm not in the business of asking people to take less money, because they're never going to ask them to give them a discount of work. So
if Amari Cooper can get beyond Michael Thomas money on the open market, and he's the premier receiver free agent.
Yeah.
I don't think he's worth it. But again, if you tell me he's just worth it because he's worth it, just because he's free,
that's how it works.
He's worth it because he impacts the game even when he's not making plays. Like, you have to account for him. I've been in an opposite locker room, and there's been defenses that, when you come out, it's roll 19, double 19. You have to impact at all times. And I mean, he makes huge plays. He disappears at times, but
he does.
Hey, boom or bust.
Boom or bust.
But when we're talking about open market, every player is only worth what someone's going to pay for him.
And they're going to pay huge, because Michael Thomas got that money with a year left on his deal. What would Michael Thomas have gotten on the open market?
$20 million.
Well, he's pretty close.
He probably got 20. So Amari, they're saying Amari wants that now from the Cowboys. So if he's wanted that from the Cowboys, somebody's going to be willing to pay that to get him to leave the Cowboys.
All right, back to Byron Jones, your little brother. You played with him for 3 years. Combine workout warrior all time. He set the world record of the broad jump at the combine. The world record.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the standing broad jump, right?
He must be part kangaroo.
I don't know.
I mean, he's an athletic freak. I mean, he's everything. Freak. He's everything that you can ask for.
We showed the highlight of him dislocate his knee, and he sits on the ground and he pops it back in and jumps up and starts running.
We actually asked him about that. He didn't dislocate it. He said he was just adjusting himself. He was adjusting himself.
Yeah, I'm like, how you do that?
Ow.
And also at his combine, he leaped to a point where he tied for the 3rd highest vertical in the last 15 years. Yeah. So you got that plus the broad jump, plus he ran 4.36. That'll work at 6'1", 199. So he's a big corner.
He is, but he don't take the ball away.
Okay, I got it. But again, I'm talking about combine workout freak warrior. And again, he went to the combine. He was ranked 27th among all cornerbacks going to the combine. I'm sorry, 25th. And then he was drafted 27th overall. So remember, his combine workouts just rocket launched him up into the first round. Like he was like a 6th round pick.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a fifth for a 27th, 25th ranked corner. That's a 5th or 6th round grade on the guy.
Okay.
And he puts up those numbers, and that's what.
Okay, so was it worth it? Well, he can cover. He's really good.
I think it was worth it, because once they lose him and he goes and gets $14, $15 million a year, they'll get them a nice little comp pick. Right. Nice little compensatory 3rd round pick that'll pay off.
All right, but if you intercept one ball in 2016 and one ball in 2017, that's not worth it. No. Because to me, the whole heart and the essence of defense is taking the ball away.
But he was a Pro Bowler.
I don't know how, because he made the Pro Bowl with 0 interceptions.
Namdi Asamoah made the Pro Bowl with 0 interceptions before.
All right.
I mean, he had 2 years ago he made the Pro Bowl. He had an unbelievable season. The year they went to the playoffs, they beat Seattle. He had an unbelievable season.
Except no interceptions.
No interceptions.
Okay, so will I miss him? Well, I missed the play in question that still sticks in my craw, the Aaron Rodgers to Jared Cook play.
Oh, the one that blamed me for.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Here it is. Look at this.
You got to bet
Byron.
You got to bet that down, though.
Byron.
I'm not even close.
Byron, wake up.
I think
That's your man. He crossed all the way across the field, right across his face.
I think that's some of the things that why he doesn't have as many interceptions. Just he's a freak of nature, but we all have our flaws, and his instinct could be a little better. And I think he's getting better. And just being at the position of corner and only having one position has been great for him. As far as taking the ball away,
where were you on that play? Back on the 20-yard line?
On the left side.
Yeah. Deep, right?
No way. I'm on the left side in the seam.
But you know what's going to be interesting? You mentioned Nnamdi Asomugha. You remember what he did in the Raiders? He was unbelievable. He goes to Philly and get out of that scheme, and what happened?
He struggled.
We're gonna see because this kid here in the Seattle, that lurk, cover one, cover whatever you want to call it, cover three, whatever you want to call it. We're gonna see when he gets out into a different scheme, how well you play. Because normally when you get free agents, I always say, if you fall in love with a guy, you better use him in the same way that you fell in love with him. Because if you don't, you're gonna expose him.
Okay.
But I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. People are free agents for reasons. There's something that team's seen in them that they weren't worth giving them that money. And I know playing in Dallas and just knowing those people in the front office, they have never lost a player that they wanted to keep. So I'm not saying that they don't want to keep Byron, but I think that
at their price.
Yeah, I think you prioritize and okay, what can we do to make up for his loss? And I think it would be a lot easier to make up for Byron's loss than it will be for Amari's.
By doing exactly what? Awuzie and
Jordan.
Anthony
I think that you gotta look. You're always looking for corners in the draft. You draft 2 or 3 corners a year, and hopefully you can get a good one. Hopefully you hit on one.
Or you picking. I mean, they're projecting somewhere between 5 and 7 receivers going in the first round. You got Chase, you got Judy, you got CD Lamb. Jerry Jeudy is as good a route runner. You think Amari Cooper can run routes? Jerry Jeudy is as good as I've seen.
I agree.
He's special.
But
he's not 4-3 though. So when it comes down to it in the league, you ain't gonna get a bunch of man-to-man coverage. You're gonna get that zone coverage.
Yeah,
you need somebody to take the top off that thing.
Hey, let him sit. Michael Thomas ain't taking the top off.
But that's why the Saints haven't went to the next level. When it comes down to the playoffs, everything is intermediate, and then they can't get behind people, and then they look up and they're at home with us.
Wait, did you just say Michael Thomas is overrated?
Never. That's like another little brother to me. He's phenomenal at what he do. Mike know what I feel about him. We talk every single day throughout his whole process from when he was in high school to when he was at Ohio State, and we still talk frequently.
Really?
Yes.
What's the connection?
The connection is Los Angeles.
Oh. Okay.
Very cool.
Aha.
Nice try, though.
We forget
I think it was a nice recovery.
We need people in the league today. You need people that can take the top off. Nobody ever talk about Tyreek Hill route running.
No, but he's turned himself. That's why he got that, I don't know, 15, 16 million. Because at first, that's all he could do. Now he can run intermediate stuff. Now it makes his over the top.
Why did he
stuff.
get that 3rd and 14 in the Super Bowl?
Because his speed. His speed scares people. Yeah. But there ain't very many Tyreeks.
But you got to take speed. I think Amari has something that's unique. His speed, his run after the catch.
Oh, Jerry Jeudy do all that. Jeudy can do all that.
Can Michael Thomas take the top off?
Mike Thomas is very, very good at what he does.
He's taking now. Well, if he catch you guessing, ask Marcus Peters, could he take the top off?
Yeah.
It's the little stuff that sets it up. Steve Largent took the top off at 4.7.
Michael Thomas ran 4.6.
Yeah, he plays fast though.
Yeah.
But Amari Cooper ran 4.3 and he plays at 4.
I tell you could take the top off bet just about as good as anybody. He ran 4.69.
Jerry, right?
Jerry. Could he take the top off, Skip?
It's only one of them though. It's only one of them.
Michael Irvin.
Hey, it's those guys. See, if you got speed, it's harder to get over the top unless you're not Tyreek. But the thing is, when you get these slow guys, you underestimate them because they're so technically sound and you think they're going to run the aisle, you think they're going to run in, the next thing you know, like, how that dude get behind me?
But what's more impressive with Amari for me is, and the same thing I'm going to tell you, is the slant routes that he catches and he takes 70 yards, those is little short run plays to get back on track or, to put you in 3rd and short, and he turning them into touchdowns. You get paid for that.
Oh, you see, that's what Jeudy was doing with
Tua. At where?
Alabama.
Ain't no Tuas and.
If you could do that at Alabama, because that's the close thing.
How many times you play Florida in the NFL? How many times you play Mississippi State?
All of them. So hold on, where Amari cut his teeth at?
But Amari had to come and prove in the league. We all know that this draft thing is a guessing game.
Of course, but I like Jeudy. I'm taking Jeudy.
We know you do.
I'm taking CD Lamb.
I love CeeDee Lamb, so I'm with you
Okay,
there.
you're going to be sorry.
His
I'm not
speed
saying he's not going to be
stands
good,
out.
but right now, Judy, I'll take Judy.
Okay.
Did he have Ruggs? Did he have Devontae Smith?
Hold on.
Wait, did he
I
have
don't know
Jalen
enough about either
Waddle?
one.
What about Marcus Brown? Was Hollywood Brown with CeeDee Lamb?
2 years ago he
Love
was.
Hollywood.
Okay.
Yeah, not last year.
But I'm a little biased because I spent a lot of time with those guys. But they're impressive. And it was great to have your perspective,
Thank you.
Orlando, having been with the Cowboys. Interesting stuff.
Well, maybe if we buy the SEC rights, you can spend some time down in Alabama.
No mercy.
LeBron James, in his 17th season, has a chance to win his 5th MVP award. The only thing standing in his way is a certain young buck. And ahead of the Lakers game tonight against Giannis, the MVP debate has never been hotter between the Greek Freak and the King. LeBron, however, insists that winning the regular season MVP award isn't a motivating factor for him. Take a listen.
It's never motivated me. Regular season MVP has never motivated me. To be the best to ever play the game has motivated me and has resulted in me being able to be league MVP a couple times. But I've never gone into the season saying, okay, league MVP is what I want to be. I've gone into the season saying, okay, I want to be the MVP of this team. I want to be the best player in the world. And how I approach my game every day, how I take care of my body every day has resulted in things like that.
All right, Chris, welcome back. So this question for you, how much stock will voters put into who plays better tonight?
The smart voters won't put any stock into it.
Really?
Because it never comes down to one game.
Right.
Especially when, again, to me, it's not even that close. Now, if it's nip and tuck, last year with Harden and Giannis was nip and tuck, then I give you maybe one game, maybe a showdown. But I don't think this is that close. Vegas doesn't think this is that close. ESPN they had 5 of their writers do the article earlier in the week. Most of them didn't think it was that close. Vegas now has Milwaukee as the favorite to win the whole thing. So, and Giannis doesn't have an AD. I just don't think it can come down to this one game. And even if you did say that, we have to admit that the first time they played, they only playing twice. The first time, Giannis played better.
Yeah.
34 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists in what was essentially a blowout. They were up 19 at halftime. They ended up winning by 7. LeBron didn't have his typical game. He had a triple-double, but he only had 21 points, shot 8 of 19 from the floor. So for him, that wasn't his typical
you
game.
expecting Giannis to make 5 more threes? Because I don't think he made 5
but
threes.
he made 5 threes. But my point is that, let's say LeBron had a tremendous game and Giannis was so-so. Okay, so it's even.
Right.
So they both had one game better. So I don't see how you can just put a lot of stock in what happens tonight. I said earlier in the week, I think there's this groundswell.
Yep.
But that seems to be among fans on Twitter that are saying, LeBron should win it. I'm still not sure, Skip, among writers, how many really think this is close. Because a lot of the writers, especially the younger ones, are analytics guys. And they're going to look at, Giannis's analytics numbers. And I don't know how many writers will be swayed by the narrative.
I agree, because the MVP is a season award. It's not a game award. And so and I believe Giannis will probably have more points than LeBron. Skip, you mentioned that earlier. I just believe LeBron will impact the game different. He'll probably have more assists and things of that nature. So when I look at it, I don't put a whole lot of stock in it. They won. Skip, it's not like football, where you win head-to-head, because we look, man, look who Lamar Jackson beat. Yeah. He beat Russell, and he beat Tom Brady, and he beat this one, and he beat that one. So it was clear. But in this situation like this, look, I think LeBron, even if you don't believe he's ahead or it's not that close, he's gaining. If he's not in the front, he's gaining on Giannis, because we're starting to hear. Because it was a foregone conclusion, it was Giannis, and nobody else was even mentioned in the MVP race. So with the mere fact that we're having a discussion that I do believe LeBron is gaining, because I don't think anybody thought he would be playing this well.
Gaining?
Yeah.
You declared it over.
But I'm talking
now,
about
you think LeBron is the MVP. Not will win it, but in your mind, he's definitely the MVP.
Yes. And I'm just going by what Chris said. Chris says in his mind, and a lot of these other guys, and he said some of the young guys, they rely on a lot of analytics. Analytically, LeBron probably is not sexy. I mean, probably analytically, Luka might be better than LeBron. But at the end of the day, it's hard to deny. I mean, last year we wasn't in the playoffs. This year we about to win 64 games, where we only picked to win 51.
with the guy that you picked to be the MVP alongside. So that's like,
yeah, but Skip, I did, but I said LeBron would be in the MVP discussion.
Oh.
I said they're going to split the votes.
Okay.
And AD's going to probably get some MVP votes.
LeBron will be in your MVP discussion when he's 65, right? No,
like Tom Brady's in your MVP discussion at 80.
Going.
Tom Brady. Tom. If they had Tom Brady.
Imagine.
I completely disagree with both of you on this. This is huge tonight because I believe, and this is not scientific, I did not count votes. I'm just going on gut feeling instinct. There is a huge groundswell led by that man to make this man the MVP. LeBron James in year 17. It's just a better story. And I still say a lot of writers got left, including you, with some egg on your face. I love that. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Egg on your face, but I know.
Well, Skip, you know they used to bust eggs when somebody didn't like somebody, they throw egg in it.
But I know what it means, and it means you're just a little chagrined. You're just a little embarrassed. I voted for that guy last year, and he did that against Toronto in the playoffs. He just disappeared for 4 straight games, and it's hard to get back to an emotional point where you can say, okay, I'm going to make him the back-to-back MVP, because there's a little voice inside just saying, be careful. He might let you down. He might make you look bad again. All he's done is he has been on a record pace in PER to be the all-time greatest PER ever. And all he's doing as we speak is he's #1 in defensive win shares. Best PER ever? Best defensive player? It's like, what more? You can't really ask for a whole lot more. And best team by 5 games over the Lakers. It's almost outrageous we're having this conversation, but I have given into it because it's such a better storybook storyline. And I think the league wants it, the league needs it, and the voters want it. Deep down, they want this because in the end, they need one more excuse. Tonight is the night for one. Because if LeBron really lights them up tonight, and I know it's not an individual, they're not going to guard each other, but if he just individually, statistically lights him up tonight, national TV, fairly late in the season, you don't think that's one more big catapult excuse to say, okay, now we can do this. Now I feel not quite so guilty about voting for LeBron.
Well, here's the thing. I feel no shame in voting for Giannis last year because I understand it is a regular season award.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys have won it back-to-back, you know. And Steve Nash, the year he won his first.
He didn't deserve it. Shaq. They stole it from Shaq.
I voted for Nash that year because Shaq missed, I think, 13 games, you know, for Miami. And obviously Wade was there with Shaq. But even so, Nash, they went out in the playoffs. They didn't get to the finals. And then he won it the next year. When LeBron won his second one back-to-back, remember he lost to Orlando. That was the first year he won MVP. Right. And they lost to Dwight Howard and Orlando, and everybody was shocked. Mm-hmm. He comes back the next year and wins it again. So I don't think the playoffs, you know, fizzling out or whatever has an effect on guys. I think with LeBron, I think he understands, look, he's been the best player in the world for what? 10, 12 years, something like that. And he knows, and he's been the best player in the world. And there were clearly, if you just take the name literally most valuable player, he's clearly been the most valuable player to his team so many times. And so he's looking at it, years I deserved it, I didn't win it. And so now why should I focus on it? Why should I put it out there that I want it? When even if I deserve it, I may be disappointed.
But I tell you something we're going to get that y'all can't take out of our hands. You can't take that title. Because when we got that trophy, ain't going to be no doubt that the Bill Russell, I think they get called Finals MVP, the real Russell. We got 3 of them. About to get another one this year.
Really?
Yep.
What about those stepchildren down in the basement?
What about them? yeah.
How about them?
They've been bad.
They're knocking on the door.
You can't take them anywhere. They baby kids. You don't take baby kids anyway. That's why they stay down there.
So I'm going to finish off this discussion by throwing 2 little numbers across the table at my partner, Shannon Sharpe. My 2 numbers are, just for the record, just for the big picture of the MVP race, there are 33 players in this league so far that have taken 350 or more 3-point shots. Think about this. 33 have taken high-volume 350 or more. LeBron ranks 26th on that list out of 33 with 35% made. That's pretty horrible.
Yeah.
Then high-volume free throw shooters. There are 23 of those of 300 or more free throws attempted. LeBron ranks, way down at 19th on that list at 69%. And you are shooing him in as the MVP, a poor three-point shooter and a poor free throw shooter.
Is he better,
just for the record.
Is he better than Giannis in any of those two categories that you mentioned?
I'm just putting it in one category. LeBron's
wait.
LeBron's a rim protecting. What is he a 5? I think he's a 5. I don't know what he is. He's a 4 for sure. No,
Giannis.
Yeah, they don't play the same position.
No.
Right?
No.
Giannis isn't a shooter.
We play basketball.
But wait, LeBron's the point guard.
We're a positionless guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we can play 1 through 5. We've done it.
It's whatever you need.
Ask Popovich. You remember we was guarding Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
Guarding Tim Duncan in Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
Really? I remember Coach Pop going, get off him. Just let him shoot those threes. Get off. Get off.
Hey, I don't know if you saw. Did you see last week Kawhi missed that dunk, Chris?
Yes.
Oh, you see that?
Yes.
Now let that have been LeBron James miss a dunk. He be waiting.
All LeBron did was just dribble the ball in bounds without passing it in. Well, what are you doing?
Even LeBron was
Brain
like,
fart.
what am I doing?
Yeah.
He's like, I did that.
Where am I right now?
He did like Bledsoe. Bledsoe just got the ball and just started dribbling. The referee handed it to him. He just coming around, just keeps dribbling.
I'm looking forward to tonight. I'm looking forward to Sunday, and I cannot wait to see if you're
Your
actually
day coming.
cooking on Monday.
Your day coming.
Yours has arrived.
No mercy.
The mystery surrounding Tom Brady's future in New England continues to hang over the NFL offseason, with just about all of us looking for any clues as to where he'll end up. And according to USA Today's Nancy Armour, if Brady were to leave the Patriots, it would make 2020 the greatest season ever. The drama. Shannon, do you agree?
No, absolutely not, Skip. Games make the season the best season ever. There are going to be enough storylines. Lamar Jackson, can he follow up his MVP season? What does he do? Patrick Mahomes, one of the youngest Super Bowl MVPs ever. Can he repeat? Skip, there's enough storylines. Drew Brees. Look, if Tom Brady stays, what are we going to be talking about, Skip? What if Tom Brady had left? What would the Patriots be? Could he have made this team better? So there are storylines, Skip. Look, there are enough storylines. Cowboys are always full of storylines and drama. What if old Dak Prescott somewhere else? Love that story. That'd be a great story for us to talk about.
And Tom Brady goes to Dallas.
Oh, my goodness.
Love it.
There
That
you go.
would be a story.
Skip, look, you understand how sports work. It's not enough wins and losses, but there are enough storylines that even if Tom Brady left, it's not going to make this the greatest season ever. Because, at the end of the day, the games and the storylines behind the game, not whether Tom Brady's in another city. Peyton Manning left. So was 2012 the greatest season ever? No. Stop putting this notion that Tom... No. And it's no.
You just can't stand that it's yes.
It is not.
You answer every Brady question on this show through clenched teeth because it's just grinding on you. You're grinding your teeth. You need to wear a mouth guard on this show because you're grinding your teeth.
Okay.
Yeah, right?
I do sometimes.
Yeah, you do.
I wear a guard at
On
night,
stress.
Way to go. Not only is this about to become the greatest season in NFL history, but it's shaping up as the greatest off-season in NFL history. And again, all of it contingent upon where will Tom go.
Thank you.
All I know is this is Michael Jordan at the end of his prime hitting the open market.
No, it's not.
And Brady has made it clear he's very intrigued by playing the open market.
He's scared to death.
You think so?
He's scared to death. He's scared to death, Jenny, because you're taking him out of his unfamiliar surroundings. You're taking him out of somewhere he's been for 20 years.
2000 is when
Exactly.
I mean, you
so
think
he's
about
scared.
where were
He's
we
putting
in
on a great
2000?
positive face, Skip Bayless. If you said, look what I put. Now, Skip, what?
Brady is a great off-season story, but a big part of the interest is guessing where he's going.
That's what you
to
said, right,
be.
Skip Bayless? Now, you said that, and we don't even compare. We don't even talk to each other in the morning other than production meeting.
I know.
So
Trust me, I know.
We ride on that.
Yeah.
So I'm just telling you,
a
the
great
intrigue
story.
is now because we're trying to anticipate or guess where he's going. Once the season hit, we already know where he is, Jenny. So what's going to be? So if Tom Brady plays like a bum, how great is the season going to be, Jenny?
Great. It'd be riveting.
Oh, no, it would.
Yeah, if somebody puts all their eggs in the Brady basket.
No.
If they let go of their incumbent quarterback, Ryan Tannehill, Derek Carr, whoever, Tyrod Taylor, right?
I'm more interested, what does Lamar Jackson do for an encore?
Yeah.
What about my homeboy?
You're just trying to take the focus off the most obvious, incredible story in the history of NFL stories.
Okay, Skip, just because James Cameron directs a movie doesn't make it great.
Yeah. It's not a hit.
No!
Necessarily. I hear you.
That's my point. Just because it's a compelling storyline doesn't make it great. It's the play on the field.
Yeah, but it won't matter. If he goes to the LA Chargers, the world will be focused on the Chargers going into their new billion-dollar stadium at SoFi. And if he takes Antonio Brown with him and Antonio is declared eligible again by the league, that's even a huge subplot to it. And I think, by all accounts, AB is going where TB is going.
Yeah, but
right?
That's a storyline.
Yeah, it's great. And then if he falls on his face, you'll be gloating every Sunday. The whole world will be watching like never before. Can he change a culture by snapping his fingers? Will Bill Belichick go get Andy Dalton and start, rising toward another Super Bowl?
All it is a story. It's a storyline. Will Aaron Rodgers get back and win another Super Bowl? Drew Brees, what does he have left in the tank? My homeboy, can he repeat?
Blah, blah, blah. This is it. This would launch this season to heights that you've never seen before. How many Tom Brady playing for the Chargers topics would we do on this show? we do 5 a day.
Skip, if Brady doesn't play great, if the games aren't great, let's just say the games aren't great.
You'd love that. That would be your all-time storyline.
No, she said this is a great season. She didn't say anything about just Tom Brady games. The season.
The whole season.
We're talking about the whole season. We're talking about 32 teams. We're not just talking about him. He's a story. He's a.
No, but her point is he would be the primary storyline to elevate the season into all-time status, right? Just wait until March. What is it? March 16th.
16th
yes,
is
March
when you can
16th.
start
12:01. Here we go.
Stay with me, Skip Bayless. Watch my eyes closely. This is to the left. This to the right. Round and round. That's what I feel about your story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can't stand it that guy has the world's attention right now.
Skip, he's a world. He's a free. All I know is my homeboy is the story.
He's not a free agent. He's a freak agent.
Guess what he gonna do? Oh, about to get $40 million.
Yep.
40. The first $200 million man.
Stop it. Nobody cares. They care about that guy.
Skip, because he's a free agent.
What if he leaves Bill Belichick for quote unquote dead?
Hold up.
See, can Bill resurrect himself?
Jenny, if I sit something out by the curb, do I need it? Do I want it? It's not like Coach Belichick. The phone call, now you said Coach Belichick, the Boston Globe, and we're supposed to believe what they're reporting, so if we take what they're saying is true.
The Herald.
Coach Belichick the Herald?
Herald.
Okay, the Boston Herald. Coach Belichick called him. How did the call go?
Badly.
Why did it go badly? If I want you, Jenny, if I'm trying to woo my girl back.
That's the point.
Thank you.
It's the greatest story ever.
Yes.
The greatest coach, quote unquote, does no longer wants the greatest quarterback.
If you're trying to woo somebody back, if I'm trying to woo her back, I can't call up on the phone, hey, how you doing? You make me sick. I'm glad we left. No!
Try a little harder.
Thank you. Coach Belichick ain't go out of his way.
You're making my case.
Thank you.
You're making her case.
No, you making Coach Belichick case.
Yeah.
Look, the time is running out for the Patriots. Before Brady can officially become a free agent, he can negotiate starting March 16th. He said he's going on vacation until then. So I don't...
Coach Belichick said, I'm already on vacation. I'm at my place in Nantucket.
No mercy. Well, the obvious concern for many across the NBA when Anthony Davis became a Laker was whether he was truly elite or just a great player on a bad team. But according to the LA Times, AD has exceeded expectations this season and proved that he can be a great player on a great team. So, Shannon, has AD exceeded your expectations?
Absolutely not. He's everything I thought he would be. You watch this guy, you understand what he is, Skip Bayless. He's a career 24, 10.5, 2.5 blocks per game. He's 26 and a half, 9.5, 2.4 blocks a game. He's what you thought he would be. Skip, we've seen the guy have a 59-20, 40-15, 30-20 games. We know what this guy is. what was he supposed to do in New Orleans? Beat the Warriors with KD? In AD's brief playoff career, I think he has 13 games, Skip. He's 30, 13, and 2.5. So in other words, he increased his scoring, his rebounding, and block shots in the playoffs. That's how James Worthy got his name, Big Game James. Because in the bigger the game, the better he played, his scoring, everything went up. Anthony Davis is the same thing.
Really?
I know what Anthony Davis is. I know what he represents. He just now, people are getting an opportunity to see him more because he's on television more. He plays for the Lakers. He's playing alongside LeBron James. But I had no reservations about what I thought he would be with the Lakers. LeBron knew too. Just like he told y'all about Dame. Y'all don't want to give Dame Lillard any credit. Let me have him. I'll show you how good Dame is. He's an AD. Y'all don't, AD. Only difference is, Skip, AD now plays through knicky-knack, nagging little injuries. He'll play through those. Before, but now, he see that chip at the end of the horizon, he laser focused.
Really?
Yep. Talked to him the other night, too.
So the AD I often watched in New Orleans in regular seasons, over 7 seasons, went 216 and 250. So he was way under 500. He was not a transcendent, franchise-changing player. I don't know why. Is there something intangibly missing? I don't know. But I've seen him in 2 really big games, big game James kind of games this year against the Clippers.
No, stop.
And I got to tell you, I don't know why, but his numbers off his overall regular season numbers are down a little bit against the Clippers. Is it because there's more pressure, more spotlight, more focus, more intensity?
I thought regular season didn't matter. I thought we were talking about the playoffs.
Those are the only 2 games I really care about.
No, playoffs.
Thank you for bringing that up because I can't wait for April, May, and June because I love it when NBA playoffs reveal your backbone, your character, your intangibles, whether you have the heart of a champion or that dog in you. Do you have that dog in you or not,
You got
Anthony? I don't know.
I do.
I haven't seen that dog in
You're going to see it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not sure because it's one thing to go light up the Sixers when they don't have Embiid or Ben Simmons on some Sunday afternoon. That's one thing.
Okay.
It's quite another to put it on the Clippers in game 6 and 7.
I trust AD.
Do you?
Yeah, he that dog.
Really?
Yes, and he going to bite.
I haven't seen that
You
dog.
gonna see it.
And I definitely didn't see it against the Clippers like on opening night. Got skunked in the 4th quarter.
The people ask me all the time, well, will Tonka bite? I say he got teeth. Anything got teeth to bite, right?
Really?
Yeah. So you about to see 6'10" with the Lakers. Skip, there's just something about when you put on that purple and gold.
Yep.
And you play on that stage and you play next to GOAT James. It just brings out the best in you.
Yeah, I've warned AD all along. You got to be careful with GOAT because he'll be the first one to deflect blame onto his co-star.
All he did was he praised.
Really?
All he did was he praised.
So great. So far, so
All he
great.
did was he praised.
Not been any
You know what the GOAT
adversity.
is. Skip.
Yep. Here we go.
So let me ask you a question. So AD has surprised you? So you're surprised with how well AD is playing?
Not against the Clippers. Numbers are all down. Seriously, like he's shooting 51% during the regular season, except against the Clippers, it went down to 42%. 34% from 3 against the Clippers, 13%. Free throws, 84% overall. That's really good, but only 73% in those 2 Clipper games. Down. Every number's
So what about
down.
so what about the games that Kawhi shooting a career low?
This is about AD.
But I was just saying, but you make it seem
Kawhi has 2 Finals MVPs. AD has nothing to show for his postseason.
He about to get finals to the finals and win.
Really?
Let's just see what he does Sunday. Okay. No mercy. All right, the Lakers host the Bucks tonight in a battle of the top seeds and the MVP favorites, LeBron and Giannis. LeBron is averaging a league-best 10.7 assists, while Giannis is first in player efficiency rating. So, Shannon, who has the better game tonight, the King or the Greek Freak?
LeBron's going to win. That's most important. And I think he'll have a bigger impact. Giannis will probably score more points, have more rebounds. But LeBron will have probably, 13, somewhere between 13 and 15 assists. High assist total, 3s break their back. So we're going to win this game. LeBron will have the bigger impact, but But Giannis' numbers will be off the charts.
Lakers win. LeBron cinches MVP with a triple-double. I got 30, 10, and 12. But Giannis outscores him 32 with 15 rebounds, and nobody will notice or care.
That's right, because it's all about GOAT James.
Yeah.
And you're going to find out on Monday what it's like to be chef at GOAT James.
Really?
Yep.
You've been talking this up real big.
I got Clippers 110 to 100 for 3 cases of Diet
We got
Dew.
4. I went up, but we're going up to 4.
Okay, 4.
We moved it up.
I might have. Wait, I come in with my sign. I got a bigger club share sign, about as big as that bag
don't
right there.
need a bigger
Bigger one.
We don't
bigger
need
one.
it.
Skip, you forced me to break it out the big guns for this on Monday.
No.
Talking about
I
the
am
Clippers.
excited.
Good
We'll
ball.
see. No mercy.
Thank you for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Keep an eye out for the weekend edition of the podcast tomorrow morning, featuring this week's best segments. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Fox Sports, one of one.